All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Me coming at you this Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. It is a little swamp ass tonight. I got the ceiling fan going. I did a test recording. I don't believe it's going to muffle the sound or interfere with it too much, so I hope it all works. Tonight we're recording. I will post it later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. The second session of What's Old is New. Which is basically their sci-fi setting from W.O.I.N Publishing, Russ Morrissey. You can pick it up on Drive-Thru RPG. There's a link there on the bottom of the page there with my logo, and then I'll bring up the Roll20 screen. We're pretty much using Discord, and I'm having the players roll real dice, or they can roll dice in Roll20, but we're not going to be using a lot of maps. This is theater of the mind. I work on computers all day long. I don't want to come home and have to fight with Roll20. It's not intuitive for me. It's a fine program. It's just not my platform of choice. I would much rather have people sitting around the table, but of course, right now, the social distancing, we can't do it. So I thought it would be cool to record this. It may be slow at some points. It may be too fast. I don't know. It's raw. We don't edit it. I hope you enjoy it. But as always, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Let's like and subscribe. Let's grow the mini army. We are up to, I think, 690 subscribers, if I remember correctly. Let's check here real quick. 697. We are 3 away from hitting 700. That is awesome. So as always, what I like to do on the channel whenever I do a new video is I like to give a shout out to the new subscribers. I don't know about you guys, but I love to hear someone else say my name in video or whatever. So I think it's kind of cool. So I think I mentioned 2 of these guys last week, but I still want to give a shout out to them. Mr. Robert Young, thank you for subscribing. Zulfikar Zaban, thank you for subscribing. And Francesco P, thank you guys for subscribing. It means a lot. It helps out the channel, believe it or not. And then Torfirth, thank you. And Emma Ivanova. So thank you guys for subscribing. It means a lot. It really helps out the mini army. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's grow the channel. That is my Amazon Echo going off in the background. Alexa, turn off alarm. Sorry about that, guys. That's just I wanted to do a quick alarm to remind me to stream or record. So this will be going up later tonight or early tomorrow. As always, like and subscribe. I'm on ZellyPay. You go to my YouTube channel, Mr. Mean Speaks, John Polak, and you can see that you can donate to the channel via ZellyPay or PayPal Pay Me. There's also a link to my Discord channel. I'm on Discord most of the day, so feel free to drop into the channel and say hi. I love to talk about RPGs, and if you have GMing questions, if you have world building questions, if you have just general RPG based questions, about XYZ RPG, I will try to help in any way I can. And believe it or not, I get a lot out of that because it makes me think of other things to do content for. So I get a lot of help from you guys. So without further ado, we're going to jump into, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get everything set up for the guys, and then we'll come back and do our intro into the game. So thanks a lot for watching. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, like and subscribe. Leave comments at the bottom. Ring that bell to be dinged when I dong. And check the doobly-doo for notes. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.
I'm slurping soup.
All right, YouTube. We are recording tonight's second episode of What's Old is New. Set in my own little world here. I don't even remember what I'm calling it. I don't even remember what I called the campaign.
It's because you're old.
It is. Yeah, I appreciate you reminding me of that. Take 5d6 damage.
No problem. Hey, your birthday's coming up soon, man.
Thanks for rubbing that in even more. Wow. Yeah. What a jerk.
My birthday's only like 2 days after yours.
Right, exactly. And you're almost 50, right?
No, I still got 3 years.
I hate you. No, it's all good. Yeah, I'll be 53 June 21st, a Sunday. So I will tell you guys that there'll be a game Tuesday. It's not Friday. That Friday night, though, I'm going out of town. My wife and I are getting a cabin for the weekend, so we will be camping because that's what I enjoy doing. So, when last we left our intrepid heroes, I want to first give a very positive shout out to Timmy for doing the plot synopsis, and then Jake from State Farm. Who was that? Remind me again.
That was also Timmy.
That was Tim. Okay, that was phenomenal. You saw my reply to the manifest and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have that information. You're free to disseminate it or do what you want about it. We are literally picking up right where we left off. I believe we left off where everybody came back to the bar / where you're staying. And you guys were going to do whatever it is you're going to do the next day. So we're going to say it is the next day. So what is, it's, roughly 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, unless somebody is a late sleeper or something like that. You guys, did we decide how you guys were sharing rooms, or if you were sharing rooms, or what? You guys got some credits up front, or some some credits up front, some qubits, if I remember. That's the currency, right? Qubits for mega credits, right? Mega qubits.
Credits, mega credits.
Right. Qubits, man, I play too many games. You guys got some credits up front, so a little spending cash, and you've been asked to look into some things, and hopefully you have thought about it in the previous 2 weeks, and you are ready to proceed. I think it was the Skags was the bad guys, what you think are the bad guys, and apparently had some sort of hand in this kidnapping. You found out something about snipers. I tell you what, since Timmy is the verbose typist, let's let Timmy give us a character background, or bring us back up to speed.
So we're on the planet Sigma Alpha 6, on the outskirts of a city called Omega. We've been hired by a Lieutenant Onawa, who is working as a kind of a proxy of sorts for, we think, rich guy, maybe crime lord Armand Dubois. His son Arctos probably wants to kill himself because of this name, but regardless, Arctos has been kidnapped, and we think by the Skags. We have the safe word for if we ever come across Arctos, but right now we're trying to figure out where the Skags might have taken him. The Skags are a loose group of maybe a rival criminal syndicate to Armand Dubois, but we're not sure. And the thing to know about our job is that it's basically 2 parts: rescue the son, and also peaceful death of the leader of the Skags, who nobody knows who that is.
Sounds right. I
have posted what I've learned from the very nice lady who gave us information. For the insurance information.
Where did you post that?
In our Discord channel.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. So everybody has access to it, basically. All right. So, like I said, it's the morning. Everybody's drinking their version of coffee, whether that's bourbon or milk or coffee. What's everybody doing? Let's start with Kyle.
Kyle has his mouth full. He would be probably chowing down on a luxury meal of kibble and whatever rust-colored tap water comes from the tap.
Yes, the kibble is it's basically a soy protein that is glopped onto your plate. They do serve it with something that vaguely resembles toast, but tastes like you're chewing aluminum foil, and you have a mouthful of fillings. So how tasty that can be.
Nice. Yes, with the side of more glop, which of course is warm wet cardboard his favorite flavor.
Exactly.
And dreaming of a better life. But let's see, just been thinking about the stuff we found out. At this point, we got several avenues. I mean, obviously, there's the supposed connection with the gang, the Skags. He's almost thinking about it might be time just to rough some of them up. Or if, unfortunately, if we had access to the bodies, per se, he could ask some pointed questions, because he does have that weird ability.
Right.
But it's a bit early for that, because 3 yes/no questions isn't quite enough.
Right. You know? Well, it depends on the questions, right?
Yeah. But also thinking if they got taken out by a sniper, they probably never even saw what hit them.
Right.
So just keeping that ace up his sleeve for now. Plus, speaking to dead people and getting answers from it, some people might kind of look at him a little strange if he starts doing that. He's not really ready for the padded room and the folks in white coats.
Right. And on this planet, that is definitely a possibility. And as a matter of fact, it would be more of a bullet in the back of the head and throw you in a ditch. Because obviously you're some sort of demon-loving scoundrel.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So he's been a little more paranoid of late because of his background, which I brought up.
Right.
He found out something. He learned about something that he shouldn't have.
Right.
So other than that, I think he's thinking that maybe it's just time to beat feet, pound the pavement, and maybe crack a few skulls, or try alternate methods just to track the gang connection.
Okay.
But he's doesn't have, short of actually, obviously there are gang members in the club there. I mean, the place they're staying. But since they were witnessed in basically interacting with a police officer, they may not get. He's thinking he may not get very far unless we try either disguising ourselves or basically shaking down gang members in a different part of town.
Right.
So he's got a few ideas, but he's not really sure how they're going to pan
out.
He's got a bunch of guys. He's going to pass it off.
Right. And you guys are aware that there are a few Skags that hang out in this bar. There's none in here right now. Mostly right now it is, either people coming off like the night shift that kind of live here because housing is not the greatest in this area, so people live where they can. And the proprietor isn't too picky about who crashes in a booth. And like I said, there's not much of a law enforcement presence, so nobody's going to come by and roust them. So yeah, that is definitely an avenue. Mace, what is the human ex-con drifter doing at this time?
He's having coffee black with bourbon. So he doesn't eat breakfast. He just does coffee and bourbon.
Gotcha.
So he's actually outside of the bar right now, leaning against the wall right by the door. So, if you remember last time, and the cop came in, before the cop came in, Mace made himself scared.
Right.
And got away. And what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to, while he's with the group, at the same time, he's not trying to advertise it. So just for the simple reason of what you said, the cop came in, everybody saw that. He's trying to make sure that he's not tied to that, plus he didn't want the cop to see him, even though truth told he probably did, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing in Mace's mind is he wants to get outside. He wants to watch the street, the ebb and flow of people. And this is what he does, right? This is what he grew up doing, and he learned this in prison as well. The best way to find out what's going on is just the day to day, what happened.
Right. Getting the vibe of the street.
Exactly. So that's what he's doing. He's just leaning against the wall right outside the door right now, sipping on his coffee, just watching and listening.
All righty. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking for one little thing, because I'm not very smart. And I want to see. Go ahead and give me a logic roll. And if you have anything that deals, any benefits or talents or exploits that give you any kind of perception bonus, you may add them. Remember, though, you have a 5 dice cap before you add luck, or, luck is the only thing that can, or any modifier that the GM gives you. But I just want a basic logic roll with any kind of perception exploit that you might have. If you have sharp eyes or
would it be tied more towards the street or?
Do you have Streetwise?
Let's see here. Do I have Streetwise?
Or if you have something equivalent.
Well, let's see here. Because he's got the orphan background, right? Which ties him into the criminal element and whatnot. So in any town that he's in,
Right.
from that. No, I mean I've got bluffing, got thievery, I've got negotiation.
I tell you what, I'll give you a bonus 1d6 just for your background.
Right. So the modifiers remind me on this. So I want to do that space. It gives me the modifiers D6. I just want to add an additional one.
Yes.
Correct?
You want to add a plus 1d6. So we got 10, 13. All right. Yeah. You, for a split second, you see a guy across the street, and he's standing there with his arms crossed. The reason he sticks out is his clothes are a little too nice for this area. You know, most people are kind of grungy and I don't want to say dirty, but grungy. You know, this is very much a low rent working class. You know, you don't see people wearing suits or nice trench coats here. And if you do, they're usually flanked by guards of some kind. This guy's dressed is like, you know, there's no mud on his boots. There's no, you know, water stains on the edge of his jacket or anything. And he's wearing almost would look like designer sunglasses, but you're smart enough to recognize that that's some sort of video recording. And he's looking in your direction. But the moment he sees you looking at him, he looks away, but very uninterested, and disappears down an alley.
Okay.
About 6 foot, 200 pounds, pretty solid built, shaved head, you know, and that's, like I said, dressed a little too nice for this neighborhood.
Could I tell if he was packing or not? I would assume most people are in this neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a pretty well assumption. Everybody's got at least a blade on them. You know, for being a sci-fi world, you know, knives still kill silently. You know, and guns are expensive and ammunition and all that stuff. And they set off alarms and stuff. You know, you can get a ceramic knife that doesn't show up on a metal detector. So, yeah, knives are, I mean, you're pretty sure he has at least some sort of blade on him. But you didn't get a good, you know, with a 13, you didn't get a good enough look to see if he was packing heat. But the assumption would be that he probably was if he's dressed that nice in this area of town.
Enough. So I'm going to casually just push myself off the wall and just slowly make myself my way across the street and in that direction.
Okay. Do you let anybody know, or do you just peel yourself away and go?
I'm just peeling myself away at this point in time. I don't see a need at this point in time to let anybody know anything.
Okay. So we will pause from you and we'll go to Seelan. What are you doing, Mr. Gray?
So I am just hanging out. I'm maybe practicing my psionic abilities or whatever, but I don't have any sort of research skills or anything like that. So I'm just going to hang out and be available if anybody else needs any sort of psionic ability.
Okay, so are you eating or are you just hanging out?
Just hanging out.
I'm making the assumption that you guys are all at that same booth with the privacy filter on kind of thing. Is that a correct assumption? Except for Mace, who has decided to wander off.
Look to me.
And then Scandal, what are you doing?
So I would say it's just kind of hanging from the rafters, having a banana and a coffee.
Okay, you can see the proprietor, who's a Borean, is looking at you with not happy expression, like pretty much get out of my rafters. But he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
But he doesn't appear to be happy that you're hanging up there. Do you have a prehensile tail?
I do indeed.
Are you hanging by your tail, or are you just hanging upside down by your feet?
Feet.
Okay, and maybe holding the banana in the tail and the coffee in the other, or something like that. All right. So are you doing anything in particular, or are you just eating?
Just kind of swinging and surveying the crowd, seeing who's here, trying to get like a feel for, is this the usual suspects? Has anything changed since yesterday?
Go ahead and give me a intuition roll as well, and you may add any exploits. Again, 5d6 is your maximum die pool. You may spend luck, and remember, everybody, your luck is an expendable pool. You can refresh it once per session by taking 5 minutes to just kind of gather yourself, meditate, whatever you want to call it. And that will let you refresh your full dice pool. And then after a night's rest or a day's rest, depending on how you're doing it, it will refresh as well.
Okay, so I don't have the intuition skill, so I'll just roll.
Well, no, it's an attribute.
Oh, is intuition, not intelligence.
Correct.
So 2d6. Okay.
All right, and you don't have any exploits that for like observation or anything like
If
that?
we aren't in a spaceship, I can't exploit anything.
Okay, gotcha. Totally understand. So yeah, just you can spend any luck if you so desire.
It's too early in the morning to spend luck.
Gotcha. I agree. I haven't tried to kill you yet. Days early.
All right. Give it time.
That's my line. So 2d6.
Can you just? Oh yeah, you can roll straight from the.
Yeah, from your character sheet, you just click on that. There you go. Yeah. Your coffee is nice and hot, and that banana is really good. That's about.
Yeah, that's all that matters right now.
Pretty much, and I can respect that. Asher, you are clicking and whirling, and what are you doing? Obviously, you don't need to eat, right?
Asher is right up against the wall, kind of shrunk down into a super compact form, with a charging plug in the wall. His head kind of just, his eye is like robotic eye, just slightly sticking out, just to keep an eye on the restaurant. Internally, he's having a virtual coffee and a virtual ranch lamb on his virtual desk, because it's much easier to run some torrented breakfasts
Right.
than actually.
It's that cipher from the Matrix. I know this is not a real steak, but my mind tells me it's really good.
Yeah, as I want to imagine that you can't actually put humans in robots without them going crazy, so they have to have a simulated environment for them.
Right. There's something to keep them grounded. All right. Kirby,
Yeah.
the human pilot, a.k.a. the smuggler, a man without a ship.
So I'm having a nice fat plate of I can't believe it's not eggs, along with a nice steaming cup of soy calf. So it's a good heaping helping of disappointment in that meal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst food you've ever eaten. When you're in space for 6 months, and the reconstituted soy calf and that's made from your waste is this is better than that, but not by much.
So I actually had a boss in real life at one point whose favorite line was, "This coffee tastes like my ass."
Yeah, and how do you know what your ass tastes like?
That was exactly what I was asking her, and I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
So Kirby is having some soy calf and some powdered egg substitute, and he gets hit with a bright idea. So, Kyle, Sellen, if I were to have a conversation with one of those idiot skags over there, could you read their mind and maybe figure out the first image that pops into their mind, or maybe a location that pops into their mind?
No, I cannot do that, but I can tell if I can read their emotions.
Sorry. Sorry, just a quick question. Did those guys drive here, or do we know if they walked?
The streets here. Have you seen the movie Blade Runner?
No.
Okay. Have you seen Altered Carbon?
Yes.
Okay. You saw how compact the streets were. You didn't see a whole lot of cars and stuff, bicycles, scooters, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of neighborhood you're in. Only much, much worse.
And they didn't seem to have a car, do they?
Yeah, they may have had, some sort of motorcycle or scooters. There's 3 of them over there, in a corner, talking and laughing. They look really tired, like they've been up all night, or they've been up for maybe a day or two. It's not like they're keeping an eye on you or anybody else. They're just hanging out. One of them's got a knife and he's carving, something into the table. Their privacy filter is on, but they don't have it set to opaque, so they can see out, obviously, and you can see in. I'm assuming your guys' is set to opaque, or is it clear? Well, for Scandal, it doesn't matter because he's up in the rafters. But anybody else that's sitting at the table, do you guys have the privacy filter set to on for video and audio?
Yeah, we have it set on.
Okay, so anybody looking at your cubby hole, your cube, would just see a blur. They could tell people are in there, but they can't tell gender. They can't get any specifics. But you can see out just fine, of course. And in their little cube, their little booth, they don't have theirs on, and they're just like one guy's kind of nodding his head, kind of dozing off. The other guy's carving something in a table, and the third guy's kind of looking around, but not in a suspicious way. He's just like, they look extremely bored, is what it boils down to. But you don't know if you didn't see them come in. They were already there when you guys came down. So if they have bikes outside, you wouldn't know. Their gang symbol kind of looks like does everybody know what the Mandalorian symbol looks like?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, except instead of the horns going down, they go up. But it's very similar to that type of symbol. So, Mace was outside, as far as anybody remembers. Someone could message him through your communique and say, hey, do you see a bike out there with, the skag symbol on it? That could be an option. Or somebody could get up and go look outside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Go outside?
Yeah, go outside.
Okay. Yeah, you go outside. You do see 3 bikes.
Before we get there, Kyle, was it Kyle that said that he could only read emotions? What about Selen?
No, that was Selen.
Selen can only read emotions.
I
What
can
about
only
Kyle?
read emotions, but
What about Kyle?
Sorry.
It's like Kyle's on mute.
Oh. Kyle, can you hear us? He might have stepped away.
Well, that's what
No, I can hear you. Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute. Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
I missed the question. Sorry.
Oh.
So my thought is this: if I go over, because Kirby is a talker, Kirby can go over and talk to these guys about maybe some business opportunities, some smuggling opportunities, and if their headquarters or their leader gets stuck in their mind, can somebody with psionics figure out who that is and maybe catch the image or catch the location or something like that?
That boils down to a mechanics question. I don't know how psionics works in this game because I was reading the section and it's not clear. My best guess is every single ability on there is listed as an exploit, which means you spend an exploit to do whatever that is, even though there's like, say, 10 exploits per each skill category, like clairsentience or telepathy. Just because you have the telepathy skill doesn't mean you do any of those things under there unless you bought it. However, you can't start with any of those. 90% of them aren't available at character creation because you've got the list of 3 or 4 based on the careers. That's basically it. So I would say no, because my reading is not on the list of an exploit I can start with. All I can do is I can melt their brains. That's it. Also, mind reading requires a psi rating of 10, which very, very few player characters are going to start with. So unfortunately, no. I think the Gray in our group, he might have a high enough ability for that. But other than that, I don't have it. Yeah.
I do, but I agree with your interpretation that each of these, the mind read exploit would require me to have the telepathy skill, which I have,
Right.
and to take that exploit, which I have not had the opportunity to do yet.
Right.
Right.
But remember,
Uh,
during advancement, you can get enough experience points to get an exploit if you so desire.
But I don't believe most of these you just don't start with them. I
Right.
think it's deliberate.
Yeah.
So you don't just start off with. Think about it. Mind reading is a game breaker.
Yeah, it's very
a
powerful.
sentient ability. So it's kind of like, let's find who the guilty person is. Read his mind. Oh,
Yeah.
I found out this guy.
It's up there with time travel, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the idea, and I go. The best I can do is get a dead person to answer 3 yes/no questions. Sorry.
The best I can do. Don't say it like it's a bad thing. That's super cool, man. All I can do is get a dead person to answer yes or no questions. I'm a loser. No, dude, you're awesome. Nobody else can do that.
Yeah, and I'll get people giving me funny looks and
Maybe. Well, I mean, if you do it in the middle of the restaurant, sure, people are going to give you funny looks, but hopefully you have a little discretion. You know, Weekend at Bernie's, man. Remember, Weekend at Bernie's. He's just had too many to drink. We're going to take him back.
Yeah, I got to report someone. He needs to take a special vacation to that special place.
That's right. There you go. Weekend at Bernie's.
Some mates and let him know that he needs to be on the lookout for a hovercraft, motorbike, whatever.
Who are you letting that know? I hear dead people. Nice.
Yeah, that I can do. I can send a telepathic message to any of them.
All right, so you're going to send that to Mace?
Yes.
All right. So, Mace, as you're following down that alley, you get a message. There's Selen talking in your head. What do you say to him, Selen? Hopefully you don't say,
What do I say? What do I say? What was the message? Sorry.
You're looking for to see if there's any gang bites. You want Mace to look and see if he sees any gang bikes outside that match the description of the Skags.
Right. Sorry, that's what I tell him. I ask him to look for gang bikes that have the Skag symbol.
Okay, all right. So I've only had 2 cups of coffee so far this morning. All right. I'm grumpy. And I don't like somebody being in my head, so I'll just go ahead and put that out there right off the bat. So, I'll kind of dart, my eyes will dart to the left, to the right, and in front of me real quick to see if I see anything. I don't want to lose track of what I've got going on. If I catch anything right out of peripheral vision, I don't know. You have to tell me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go off of that base roll, that 13 that you rolled, which is a challenging success. So, yeah, you see 3 bikes. Well, 2 bikes, for lack of a better word, like Harley-Davidson type motorcycles, and one that looks like some sort of, Japanese electro scooter. It's kind of beat up, but it's still slick looking and very, very, sci-fi looking. And you can report that back, or I don't know if Selen's powers, you just communicate, right? You don't get images.
Yeah, it doesn't say that I can receive any messages. I can only send them.
Oh, it just says send messages?
That's what it says.
All right.
It says Grays can freely send.
I do want to.
I'll just read the rule. It says Grays can freely send short telepathic messages to other intelligent creatures with whom they have spent time.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily.
I read that as a one-way.
Yep, I do too. And there may be another power that lets you communicate back and forth.
Yeah, there is, but I don't have that yet.
Right.
Asher would be going outside about this time. He would report back what what he sees.
Okay. Now remember, you guys also have an open comms unit amongst yourselves. It's one of those, we're all on the WhatsApp, app, and we can all chat back and forth freely, or like basic Discord. But it's built into your cellular, your Trode, your whatever you want to call it, whatever your device. I would assume for Asher it's probably built into him, but everybody else has some sort of comms device, whether it's a bracelet, an ear stud, built into your head, whatever, however you choose to designate it. The monkey has a banana with an antenna on it. I don't know.
So after Mace gets the mental, the question, I just vocalize over that comment, say, 3 bikes out here. Tell the Gray to stay the hell out of my head. I think I might have a runner. I gotta go. I'm done. It's just
Okay. So you get that message, Asher. What
Yep.
do you do? Do you
I
broadcast it to everybody, or?
they can't hear that same message. I'll message it back to them if they can't hear it. But afterward, I'm gonna go take a look at the bikes.
Okay. Yeah, you go outside. They're not exactly in front, but they're close, and they're literally parked all together. You notice there's about a bike's space on either side of the 3 bikes. Like, people know to just not fuck with these bikes. So yeah.
My head will do a 360 pivot before looking back to the high tech bike.
Yeah.
Is there anyone? Are there any nosy eyes over here?
Not really. I mean, you're in such a society that even you don't stick out,
Right.
So nobody's paying any
Just
attention to
doesn't
you.
Anybody see me for what I want to do?
Well, you could try. I mean, whether or not, no one appears to be paying any particular attention to you. You do see Mace heading between 2 buildings right as you come out, and then he disappears into the darkness.
Oh, I know better than to stop Mace.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. And besides, okay, is there like a whatever the space USB port into this high tech bike?
Sure. I assume you're trying to be stealthy.
Yes, I don't know how. Well, I mean, I'm practically a machine, so I don't know how fast I can do this. I essentially just want to upload a small applet that'll like ping me every 30 minutes as to the location of that. Not even like it doesn't even need to be geolocation. IP address would work too.
Okay. Yeah, I will say that you can do that because you have all the computer skills, correct?
Correct.
All right. So go ahead and give me a logic roll to try and do that.
Okay.
And then add whatever exploit. I don't know all of your guys' exploits. I don't know all your skills since it's kind of a free-form system. So I'm going to rely on you to figure out what your bonuses are and stuff like that. So use what you think is best, and obviously be honest and be legit. And then as well, if you're spending luck, you always want to let me know that you're spending luck.
All right. That's my roll.
I don't see anything. Let me go back here. Boop. There we go. So you got a 13?
16.
16. Oh, it just... Whoa. Oh. There we go. Stop it, John. Stop it. You can't scroll wheel on the screen or it does crazy shit. Computer, you got a 16. Holy shit. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. Yeah, you're able to, one of your appendages snakes out and, you interface with its I/O port, and you're able to upload this program, this applet. And yeah, so it's uploaded. You're getting a ping from it, the initial ping.
I give short thanks to whoever invented the Internet of Things, and I think I'll head back in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a logic roll.
Okay. Just pure logic?
Well, if you have any kind of perception, anything that affects your perception, your visual acuity, you can add that and or luck.
I do have I have a chameleon system built in.
What does that do?
Allows me to match my color to my environment.
Yeah, but you're moving around in broad daylight, so that it doesn't really.
Oh, God. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So,
There's two.
Which one did you say? Logic?
Logic, because logic is basically based off is your perception.
Mm.
And then if you choose to spend any luck, that'll just be a positive die modifier. I would assume your logic is pretty good.
Not as good as you would imagine.
Oh. So your logic roll was a 4? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's how it looks like is how it is.
Okay. And also, guys, for your own, if you want to roll physical dice, feel free. I'm not requiring you to roll dice in Roll20. I expect everybody on the honor system because Roll20 can be quirky at times, to say the least. So if you feel more comfortable rolling legit dice, and remember, if 3 of your dice in your dice pool roll a 6, if you roll 3 6s, that's a crit. You pick those dice up and keep rolling until you don't roll 3 6s, and then that's your total. So don't forget that mechanic, because that can be the difference between success and failure. But Asher, unfortunately, you do not perceive anything. As far as you are concerned, you have uploaded this little tracker program into this motorcycle, and you turn around and head back in with no problems. Scandal. You are in the rafters, and about the time that Asher comes walking back in, or waddling, rolling, however he does it, because I know he's weird, you see the guy that was digging with his knife into the table, the skinnier of the 3. He's got like a green mohawk, and he looks kind of sickly. He's missing a couple teeth. His clothes are pretty dirty. He all of a sudden looks to the door, or to the window that's next to the door, and he sheaths his knife, and he jumps up. He hits the guy next to him who's kind of half dozing off, and he makes a beeline straight for the door. Asher, he runs right by you and goes to his bike, and he's looking at his bike.
Is there a back window out of here?
A back window? You don't.
Some portal to the outside beyond this door.
You would assume there is in the back, but you guys never said you checked out the place. So.
Oh.
You could ask the bartender.
No, I don't want to call any more attention right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's people coming and going. It's not super hustle and bustle yet because it's still early. But you don't know if maybe his bike alerted him that it was being tampered with, or he saw something. You don't know. He's not coming after you. He's just looking at his bike, and you see, because everybody can see from the window, he puts his hand on basically what you would equate to the gas tank, and you can see there's a little bit of a flash of a glow, and the bike strums to life, and he's like looking it over. And then the other guy, says something to him, kind of sounds grumpy. You can't really make it out. And then he sits on the bike for a second. He's kind of looking it over. He doesn't seem to be happy, but the other guy just kind of walks back in, walks past you, and goes back to the booth. And then the skinny guy with the mohawk, appears to turn the bike off and go back to his seat, kind of. He's scratching it. He looks at you, kind of looks you up and down, and then just, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of grunts, and he walks on by. Mace. Go ahead.
So I was just gonna finish up. I messaged the group through our comms what I just did, and I'll crawl under the table.
Crawl under the table. You turn into a toaster.
Well, the way I see the robot is that it can actually shrink down to a very compact form.
Right.
So he just kind of shrinks down, and there's like spiders under there.
Yeah. What would be cool is you turn into almost like a backpack and you attach yourself to the monkey's back.
I'm a medium-sized creature. He's a small-sized creature.
I still think it would be cool.
If anything, we could put straps on him, and I put him on like a backpack.
That would be hilarious. Either way would be funny. So, all right. So, cutting, unless anybody else has anything they want to do in the bar, we're going to cut back to Mace. I'll take that as a no.
Yeah.
Mace. I'm sorry, somebody said something?
No, Kyle's saying, yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
At this point, short of doing the whole Dirty Harry Callahan or
Something to that effect.
yeah, just basically rough them up to get information. I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah. So Mace, you make it across the street. You're down the alley. It turns left behind the building. You see just the tail coat of that gentleman that you were looking at kind of turns the corner as you're coming into the alley, and you can see the back part. He's about 20 steps ahead of you. What are you doing? Mace? Hello? Did we lose him?
I see him in Discord.
Kevin? Oh, we lost him.
Oh, he just dropped.
Oh, he just came back. Did you hear us, Mace?
Yeah, I heard you. I was talking away. For some reason, my mic wasn't registering. So,
Oh, okay.
Yep. So what I said is I'm tailing him.
Okay.
So, so I'm going to tail him. I've got stealth, and then I've also got a exploit. It's called Kite. It says a stealth check under observation to disappear. So, so I am trying to, I'm trying to remain as far back as I possibly can with, but at the same time keeping an eye on him, and just seeing where he goes at this point in time.
Right. Which is legit. I will give you that. All right. So go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
You know.
And I need my dice. I'm rolling real dice because I don't feel like farting with the die roller, and I don't have all the NPCs imported into Roll20, and I'm not going to do all that work because I'm lazy. All right, what'd you get?
A 14.
Ooh, nice. All right. So you feel pretty confident that you are the darkness, and you come around the corner, and I'm assuming you're not like barreling around. You're, nonchalant. You've done this before. But the sad part is, as you come around the corner, and you're nonchalantly, trying to make your way through the rubble and everything, as you literally pivot around the corner, kind of turning your body, to get your right eye as you make the left-hand turn, to get it to the outside so that you can see, you come face to face with the barrel of a very large caliber pistol. And that gentleman is standing there, and he's just looking at you. And he's like, "Can I help you?"
So I try. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna need to roll for this or not, but I try very calmly, stare him straight in the eye, take a sip of my coffee, and say, "I don't know. Can you?"
Ooh, I like it. Give me a charisma roll. And if you have any exploits, you can spend luck if you so desire. I will tell you the target number to beat is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, is 15.
I use my intimidate and then add some luck to that.
Yes, sir, you may.
All right. Do that.
Because you just come up short, you got your coffee to your mouth, you take a sip, and you're like, "I don't know. Can you?"
Right.
Which I'm assuming is how it plays out. So we got 12.
I got a 15.
Oh, you tied him. So you're kind of in a Mexican standoff. He's just looking at you. And as you're standing there looking down the barrel of this large caliber pistol, you can see that those mirrored sunglasses are actually grafted to his head. And now that you're, literally 2 feet away from him, you see that he is like, appears to have like grafted muscle. He's wearing body armor, and obviously there was a piece on him. And you can see that there appears to be some sort of, you can't tell for sure, but it looks like a ceramic mono knife or something on his waist, sideways, so that he can just pull it straight out. He's wearing, fatigues. Now that you're up close, you realize that these are more like combat fatigues for pants. He very, very much fits the bill of the mercenary type. And he just kind of smiles, and he takes a step back, and he says, "I don't like being followed. What do you want?"
And without skipping a beat, so holding the mug of coffee right up there at my lips and stuff. Well, I don't like being watched.
He smiles, and he says, "Who says I was watching you?"
I didn't see anybody else out on the street that was as pretty as I was. Did you?
He literally smiles at you, and he says, "Fair enough. We'll be in touch. Have a good day." He turns around, he holsters his gun, takes a step away from you, and then he turns around and walks away.
Okay. So I take another sip of my coffee, and I'll see you later, sunshine. Just watch him walk off.
Yeah, there's a slight pause in his gait as you say sunshine, and his head kind of tilts back to kind of look at you, and then you can just see the feint of a smile, and he keeps walking, and he disappears into the darkness, a minute later.
And I'm watching, and as he's walking away, if one of the things I'm looking for is because a lot of them are, they're running with a crew, right? So I'm looking to see if has he got any markings on his jacket, a patch, anything that might. Okay.
Give me an observation roll or logic if you have observation or anything like that goes with it.
Okay. I've got an exploit here that says alert, and it gives me 1d6 to intuition perception traits. Can I use that?
Yes, sir, you may. That's exactly what it's for.
All right, cool.
So 10, 13. That's a decent success. It's not astounding, but it's pretty good. I think it's challenging. Let me double check. I'm still learning the rules. Yeah, that's a challenging success. So yeah, you see, as he's definitely one of those merc types. He's got the sleeves pushed up, aka Miami Vice, because I know you're old enough to know that reference.
Indeed, I am.
You can see that he has some sort of. You can't get a very good. You don't have any kind of vision augmentation, right? You don't have any cyberware or anything.
No, I do not.
Okay, so you see what looks like a colonial marine tattoo.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay.
So if nothing else, that tells you this guy can probably handle himself.
Exactly. So I will not turn around to walk away and walk back to the bar until he is out of my line of sight.
Okay, he is now out. He's well out of your. Yeah, he zigzags and he's gone, and it's pretty dark back there.
Actually, so I just and turn around and head back, and it's like interesting. And just, that's where I'll kind of leave myself at right this second, is making my way back to the bar.
Okay. So you get back to the bar, no other complications. Asher has planted some sort of pinger on the cyber cycle. Scandal is hanging from the rafters, eating a banana and drinking coffee. Asher is turned into a toaster and is underneath the table. What is anybody else doing anything in particular or wants to do anything in particular? You have a couple of leads now that you could possibly follow up on. What would everybody like to do? It's getting on probably close to 9 o'clock now. The place is starting to pick up. The Skags seem to have gotten some sort of communication, a phone call, for lack of a better word, and they get up as one and make it to their bikes and they take off.
Do we have any way of following them?
I don't believe anybody has a vehicle, do they?
I am a vehicle.
Well, you could put the monkey on your back and you might be able to keep. I don't know what your pace is or what your speed is. I don't think it's that fast.
If Scandal gets on my back, we can go as fast as a horse.
Okay. Well, last time I checked, motorcycles are a little bit faster than a horse. Not much, but a little bit.
But unlike me, they have to stop and sleep at some point.
That's true.
Sharp little robot.
So yeah, they take off, heading up the road to the east, into the darker, seedier part of town. This part of town doesn't have the weather actuators, so it is pretty much always a light mist or a rain. The streets are always muddy. If you saw, Brandon Lee's The Crow, it is basically that place.
We're in Seattle.
Yeah, you're in Seattle in the winter.
How close are the rooftops up over there?
How close are the buildings to each other, or how tall are the rooftops?
Both. How close are they to each other?
A lot. I mean, it's like a shanty town. There's places built on top of places. There's boards running across the rooftops. Every once in a while, you can see a scooter or a mono board, which is basically a skateboard with one wheel in the center of it, and people zooming across the rooftops. I mean, there's some places that have literally zip lines going from point A to point B, that kind of thing.
All right. Then I will speak to the others, and unless you all have any other leads for the time being, I think maybe I will go follow them and report back in the next couple hours, wherever they stop.
Sounds good to me. Good luck with that.
Split the party, just what the GM loves.
So I'll go ahead and activate my chameleon system and just start crawling on the walls.
Okay.
I'll give Scando a pat on the shoulder as I head off outside and start just spidering my way towards the target.
Okay. Well, because of the congestion in the streets, these bikes aren't doing more than 20 miles per hour, and they're weaving in and out. They look like they're moving with a purpose. With your program and everything, I'm not going to make you roll. You can obviously keep up with them, and you can keep them in visual sight for the most part, because their bikes kind of stand out. And of course, the guy with the giant blue mohawk or green mohawk obviously is easy to see. So yeah, no issues there. They're on the road for a good 15-20 minutes, and they stop at like what looks like a big warehouse. But you can see as you get closer, you see more and more of these SCAG symbols, and the area becomes more and more run down, and there are less people on the street, less businesses, more of a shanty town with like windows boarded up. You'll see, a couple homeless people standing around like a 55-gallon drum that's lit on fire, and they're trying to keep warm. That kind of environment, like a downtown, warehouse area that's real sketchy to say the least.
Like if I stop moving, my legs are gonna wind up on cinder blocks or something.
Pretty much, yes.
Am I able to broadcast video back to the team? I'm not sure if they have like phones for watching.
Yeah, I would say the phones can do that. I mean,
okay. I'll go ahead and give them full broadcast of what I can see then.
Oh. So everybody sees what I described? You okay?
So it kind of looks like a headquarters, but that may or may not be where the kid's being held.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Or role play amongst yourselves. 1 second. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Well, the mute button didn't work, did it?
Wouldn't hurt to get a closer look.
hideout or near their hideout, or there might be cameras in there.
I would need to find an outlet. That's not something that might be easy to find from the outside.
It depends on what kind of world. I mean, in Shadowrun, everything's wireless.
As far as it goes here, it probably is. You could, if somebody has computer hacking skills, they could probably get on, aka the internet, find a node that warehouse is connected to, and try to remote in and see if there's any cameras. Of course, there's a chance you could be caught. You know, someone could detect you, especially if they're looking for that kind of stuff. You know, but that would just be a simple hacking skill if you have it, or a computer skill with an emphasis in hacking or something to that effect. Again, skills in what's old is new are kind of freeform, so you can say you have computers, and then you could say it's hacking.
Hacking might be just as risky, depending on.
Why don't we get near you and dare them to be offended?
I could sneak in while you're getting your ass beat.
That's you guys stay here and take a beating, and I'll go in and get there.
I would like to point out that getting the criminal overlord who rules the planet mad at you because his son got killed is probably not good for our continued health either.
And I would add to that point that in a typical kidnapping case, the more time that goes by, the less likely somebody survives.
Very true.
Okay, let's go with your plan.
Why don't we all be en route to Asher's location?
Pick me up some ice cream on the way, why don't you?
Sure.
I will do that. What kind of
synth ice cream?
Oh, okay. I'll say what kind of synthetic, reconstituted, frozen yuck can we get? I'll bring it though.
There's a special flavor at Baskin Robbins this month called Electric Dreams.
I'll just knock it out of his hand the moment he brings me something so offensive like that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Brain freeze. Long story short, you guys, is everybody going? Scandal?
Yeah.
Everybody's going? You guys are you guys hiring a taxi, or are you just beat feeting it?
Let's hire a
If it's
taxi.
not far, we beat feet, but otherwise
It's
we're going
like
to
a 30-minute walk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about a 40-minute walk if you're walking it. Because remember, you got to make your way through the foot traffic. People aren't necessarily going to get out of your way. I mean, the robot or the android was able to climb on the side of the buildings, so there was no traffic. So he was pretty much able to keep up with the cycles who had to negate.
I'm for grabbing a cab and then getting out about 1 or 2 blocks away from
a combat cab.
Walking the rest of the way.
Plan.
Yeah. So long story short, somebody deduct 5 credits and you're able, or 50 credits. Sorry, it's expensive. It's the insurance, man. It kills you out here. But cost you guys 50 credits. You're able to get basically the equivalent of a minivan cab. And it's some guy who doesn't speak very good English. And he gets you to where you want to go, drops you off. I don't know who.
Kyle will spring for it. He's down to 11 credits.
Nice. Mark it off your sheet. It's considered spent. And you are a block and a half away from the warehouse district of where the Skaggs bikes are. By the way, Asher, you don't see their bikes outside. They have pulled the bikes into the warehouse and closed the door behind them. And you don't even have to make a logic roll for this. There's 2 very large guys, obviously augmented with mohawks and what look like shotguns, and they are standing in front of the door.
I'll send some pictures of those, and I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna start like scurrying with a wide berth, but scurry around the warehouse, look for a place that I may be able to slide in, or like a side door or a window, once they get their attention.
Okay. you're able to do that, no problem.
So this is May. So I have walked away for just a second. So I just want to. Do we know for a fact that this is their hideout, this main hideout, or do we just know this is where the bikes?
This is where the bikes went. You see a lot of iconography of the Marauder symbol or the Skags symbol.
Right.
Those of you that take a moment to ask, the drunk on the corner, he would probably say, yeah, Skags, they're in that big building over there. That kind of deal. And then, like I said, it's a very rundown area. All the shops have been boarded up. There's not too many people about as you get closer to this warehouse district. The most people on the street are, bums, vagabonds, couple gutter rat kids, that kind of deal. So obviously the 5 of you or 6 of you standing around is going to be a spectacle.
And that's why I was asking. So, because what I was going to say is I'm not going to hop in it. Like, so Mesa walk it. May take a while, but Mesa walk it to get a lay of the land. Again, it's all about listening.
Yeah.
And what he picks up, and then if everything goes to shit, then he'll grab a cab real quick and get there. But for right now, he's going to walk and take his time.
Yeah, you walk, and to make a long story short, and to get the group together, they're there, I assume, on a side street. They're not just, you guys aren't just standing in front of a block away from the warehouse, pointing at it, going, "Hey, look, we're gonna go in there and kick in the doors," But yeah, your Mace is able to get there. And meanwhile, you obviously, it's like I described, the populace thins. It's a much more downtrodden area, that kind of thing. You can see a lot of the surveillance cameras are broken or literally ripped out of the housing. There's just wires sitting there. This is not an area that the cops come to.
So do I see like the Skags anywhere else? Like even like say somebody hanging out on a set of stairs talking, or
Go ahead and give. Are you looking for like anybody hidden, or are you just looking like in plain sight?
Yeah, plain sight. I'm not looking for.
You don't see anybody. I mean, you see a couple kids, playing stickball in the street, but when they see you come walking, they scatter.
Okay.
I'm assuming you have the demeanor that says, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, I'm a grumpy old ex-con, so yeah. So no, definitely. Okay, got you. All right.
But you managed to meet up with the rest of the group while they're doing, I don't know what you guys are doing now.
You're going to just square up, is that was the plan?
Actually, we thought the folks who were there were gonna maybe get the lay of the land of where those guys are hanging out.
Once we got there, Asher was going to see if he could figure out if there was any cameras on the inside.
Okay, so go ahead. Do you have some sort of computer hacking skill that will allow you to do that?
Do I have an open port outside the warehouse?
I'm sure you can connect to the internet. Basically, it's a World Wide Web. It's pretty much like Shadowrun, like somebody said. The web is. Remember, I told you last session, when you walk through an area, you're hit with all these virtual advertisements and stuff. So yeah, you being a cyborg, are you technically a cyborg or an android? Android. So being an android, you have a human brain, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have some sort of VR trode or something to that effect that pipes images directly into your brain. But all of you can access the internet just by thinking about it. If you choose not to have that tech because you're paranoid or literally not paranoid enough, you have a cell phone or a wrist computer or something to that effect. Maybe some mirrored shades that let you see. That there's however you want to define the tech is fine with me.
I got a 12.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but not good enough to tell you. The warehouse appears to be on a separate system, so you can get all around the warehouse. You can see that the warehouse is drawing a lot of power, which for this part of town is unusual. But other than that, you can't really see inside. I mean,
Can I get a map of where the power is coming in from? Like,
Yeah, I would say with a 12, you're able to distinguish that. Yeah, you can see that on the back side of the building. There's a big transformer with a cable running into it.
all right, I'll forward that schematic to the rest of the team in
Yep.
case they get any ideas.
Well, maybe we should just cut the power and go in guns blazing. That's a Kirby kind of thing to do.
You could. That would also probably mean a bullet to the kid's head if the kid is there.
I ran that scenario a total of one time, Kirby, and that winds up with the kid dead.
Never tell me the odds, man. Never tell me the odds.
They're quite awful. I'm not.
Never tell me the odds. You want to get out and push?
How tall is this building?
It is 3 stories tall. All the windows are boarded up. There's a big double, almost like an aircraft hangar, double set of doors, and then there is a small door to the right of that on the front facing. And with the schematics that Asher was able to pull off the web, there is a hangar door in the back opposite of the front hangar door, and also a smaller door in the back.
Is this the kind of is this like a tin wall? Like it would rattle a lot if we tried to climb it?
It appears to be very solidly constructed, but it looks crappy. But you're close enough. I'd assume you're only like maybe a half a block away. And some of you have some sort of augmented vision, and plus the schematics that Asher was able to pull up. This is a very solidly built building. It appears to be made to look flimsy, but it is not.
So Kirby's going to find some of the street kids that don't run away from him because he doesn't look scary ex-con like Mace.
Right.
He looks like himself.
Yeah. So yeah, you're about a block away. There's some kids playing stickball. They come back after Mace came walking by, and now they're back to playing.
So I'm going to just strike up a conversation with them, and using some diplomacy skills, I'm going to try to nonchalantly ask them if there is like a sewer system or some kind of a underground tunnel system that might connect the different buildings in this area.
So, all right. So go ahead and give me a die roll.
I'm going to use 3 dice of luck.
All right.
Well, if it'll let me. 3. Submit.
Booyah. Look at that. So,
Yeah, there you go.
So 24. Yeah. So one of the kids, he appears to be about 9 years old. He's missing an arm, and the other kids are kind of making fun of him, but he's the one that seems most open to talk to you. And he's like, yo, man, what you looking for? What you coming around here, man? You got creds?
What? I got total creds for you, man.
He pulls out a gun. He's like, well, you got so much creds, bitch. You can just give them to me and my boys. Now, remind you, he's 9 years old.
I'll point at my 2 guns that I've got on me and say, who you calling a bitch, bitch? Do you want my money, or do you want to just walk away with one less arm than you've got right now?
And the other kids behind him are like, ooh, Skirt, he told you, he punked you, Skirt, ooh. They're all doing that kind of thing.
And I'll pull out creds and say, so, Skirt, here you go, man. I respect, what am I thinking? I'm drawing a blank. I've had too much whiskey tonight.
There's no such thing as with
A player's got to respect the player.
Player's got to play, right?
Exactly. So I'm gonna give him 10 credits just before the fact.
He puts
I like your style, kid.
He puts the gun away and he says, player's got a front, homie.
Exactly.
He puts the gun away because he doesn't have two arms, so he puts the gun in a little shoulder strap on the front, and like it takes up his whole chest, right? And he snatches the credits. He's like, "What you want, man?"
So we're looking for ways inside buildings around here. Is there a tunnel system, maybe?
Man, the Skags got this place locked down like bitch tight. You can't even get into panties. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's always a way into panties, my friend. There's always a way.
And one of the other kids like bumps up and hits him and kind of whispers in his ear. You can't really hear what he's saying. He's like, "Oh," he said, "Yeah, man. 1 block over and to the left, the old ice cream is called a Sugar Shack. The owner used to keep a basement, and well, Leroy here says that you can get from there to anywhere in the lower city you wants to go. But for me to show you that, you kind of disrespect me in front of my boys. I'm gonna need 100 credits.
100 credits, man. What's your name, kid?
My name is Skirt.
Skirt.
Skirt. Skirt. Skirt.
That's a lot of credits, my friend.
That's a lot of knowledge I'm giving you, homie.
So Skirt, I'll tell you what. For 100 credits, you give me not only the way in, but your homies here, they cause a ruckus for us. Because if we're gonna need to get in someplace unseen, that means I's got to be looking someplace else.
Oh, I feel you, man. I feel you. So, like, you hiring us? That what you saying? And, like, you got, like, there's, like, 6 kids.
I think I am. I think you kids look pretty good because...
like, there's 6 of these kids.
Here, and if you double cross us, if you know what I mean, then my big friend's going to come back looking for you.
Oh, you mean that dude? Oh, yeah. No, man. There ain't no need for violence, homie. We tight. He said, let me talk it over with my crew. And man, you could see they're all like, their eyes are like, you're dangling the golden carrot above them, and they're hungry. And yeah, so he turns around, he kind of plays it cool. He's like, "Yo, Mr. Moneybags, I tell you what, we do this for you, and we ain't taking no heat. You hear me, man?"
No. I expect that smart young men like you, smart enterprising men like you disappear into the woodwork as soon as shit goes down.
Man, like a cockroach on your mama's titty.
My mama's dead.
Well, she probably got a lot of cockroaches. So, and he holds his hand out for the credits.
I tell you what, I'll give you half now, and I'll give you half when we're done.
How about 75 now and 25 when we're done? Because you may die, man, and then I'm ass out.
You know what? Fair's fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you 75 now and 25 when we're done.
All right. He spits in his hand. He says, "Thieves' honor."
Do I look like a thief?
Your mama got cockroaches on her titty. You damn right.
Damn straight I am, and I'll spit on my hand and shake it.
All right. Solid. You can write Skirt down as a contact now. So they run you over to where the old Sugar Shack was, and sure enough, there's some boards. You can see they have been pried up recently, and in the dust there is footprints about the size of a 9-year-old. Obviously these kids have been using this to get around and avoid the po-po and to get away from bigger people. The problem is, unless you tear up some boards, most of you, except for maybe Scandal, are going to have, and maybe the Android, are going to have a hard time getting in there because, like I said, it's about the size of a 9-year-old boy.
I'm going to stick back at the warehouse from a nearby rooftop and just keep an eye on the outside.
Okay.
Come in the tunnels.
I don't trust those 9-year-olds.
What? Man, my NPCs would not fuck you over. I'm not that kind of GM. Wait, yes I am. Shut up, Scandal.
Now, Mr. Mean, we haven't played with you, so I don't know if you're that kind of GM or not.
Oh, you better damn well bet I am.
He is.
I completely believe you have it in you, Mr. Mean. I just have less. I just have less. Judgment in somebody who hires kids.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, especially a one-armed kid. I mean, geez, that's a tearjerker right there.
Oh, not about that. Just you're hiring. You're just hiring the kids because you can't do something yourself.
Ooh.
No.
More likely that the 9-year-old kid with one arm is actually the ringleader of the Skags.
Don't think I didn't think of that, Craig. But I'm pretty sure he's not. But long story short, so who all's going down the tunnels?
Kirby for sure.
Yeah, I can go. Scandal can go.
All right. There's no light down there. Does anybody have a light source or can see in the dark? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Grab one of the boys.
Actually, yeah. So Mace will go, and he's got a chem light stick.
Is that on your character sheet?
Is indeed.
Oh, snap. All right. I believe you. All right. So
Yep. I have 3 of them actually on my character sheet.
that's what happens when you're prepared, folks. In the Coast Guard, it's called Semper Paratus, always prepared. And if you're a Boy Scout, it's just creepy. But so Mace has a chem light, so that will in that closed space. If anybody's over 5'1", you're going to have to stoop and or crawl.
Okay.
And there's things floating in the water that, well, let's just say it's not very hygienic.
Is it still water?
Well, it's thick and it kind of looks like water, but it's very brown.
Got protein in it.
Negative 1d6 to you, sir. Well, I mean, remember, it rains here 99% of the time, so there's always, the water's got to go somewhere, or the mildly acidic rain has to go somewhere.
So, Mace, Kirby, and who?
And
Asher's on the rooftop. What about Selin?
I'm going to be strolling through the bean dip or whatever.
The bean dip. Oh, there's an image I didn't need. All right, so everybody's going down in the sewers. Mace, I assume you're in the lead?
Yeah. And Kyle's back as well.
Yes.
Yep. So I am taking the lead.
All right. And I assume you guys have whatever hand weapons on you?
Huh?
Your hand weapons, like any guns, or you can't really run around with like rifles, but I don't think anybody had enough money to buy rifles. Did they?
Selling
You're a very funny guy. We had money left for firearms. Are you kidding?
You guys bought weapons?
You guys bought what? What are you talking about, man? I have a bad attitude. That's all I need.
Selling got a pistol. I've got a pistol.
Selin's got a pistol.
And I can melt your face.
Wait a minute. That's not fair. You get bullets and you can melt some. He's got a pistol. He didn't say he had bullets.
That is true. That might be a problem. Alan has a stun baton. That's all he has. Well, he can melt faces, kind of.
The pistol's just for looks.
The pistol is the intimidation factor, right? All right. So you guys are moving down. Geez, I wish I knew Roll20 better. Let's do this. Let's do a new sheet.
Asher's going to turn off his comms for the next 20 minutes. Whatever goes down there, he doesn't want to hear it.
You want plausible deniability? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
You want plausible deniability? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, partly. And I don't want to hear whatever just after descriptions they come up with. What happens in that sewer stays in that sewer.
Dude, that is totally. I
am going to keep a constant telepathic message open to him. No, I don't think I can. He's a rope.
You can't.
Before we get too far into this, I want to make sure that we had set some kind of a signal for Skirt to do the distraction action, which was part of the negotiation.
Yeah. Well, you guys are a little ways underground now, so it's kind of hard to hear. But if Asher is keeping an open communication to you guys, he would probably tell you that the kids are throwing rocks at the front of the ganger's door. Right about.
Yeah, I'll unmute them and go ahead and let them know that rock throwing has begun.
Nice.
Exactly how long were they supposed to keep this up?
It was unspecified.
Until we get in.
But if they want their 25 credits, they better do it long enough.
Come on, let's go double time. Let's go.
Couldn't you find more two-armed origins to check rocks?
Well, you only need one. Yeah, there's six of them out there, and they're throwing rocks from different areas, and a couple of the gangers. The small door on the side of the big doors, the hangar doors, opens, and two of the gangers come out there, plus the other two that were standing in front, and they're trying to shoo the kids away. One of them, with a shotgun, takes a pot shot, but it's too far away. The shotgun doesn't go that far. And the kids scatter, and then as soon as they go back in, they come back and start throwing more rock, and they're hooting and hollering and just having a good time. Some of them are throwing what appears to be like rocks with like powder or something in there, so it's like making a almost like a fog by the front door, and the gangers are fucking screaming and pissing and moaning. Now there's about 6 of them out there, and they're trying to chase the kids away. But the kids scatter, and then when they go back in, like a second later, the kids come back. And that goes on for a good 10 minutes, which is about enough time for you to get to what.
Your friend is about to get shot soon.
Yeah. Which is about enough time for you to get about 3/4 of the way into the sewer when Mace, you hear something up in front of you, very much like a growl. And not a very friendly growl either, I might add.
If the growl was very pleased to hear him, I think we'd be equally concerned.
Yeah, it's.
So we've got open comms, right? So over the comms, let's say we've got a company up ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I send my regards. Good luck.
Do we have any idea what sort of thing would growl in a area like this?
You would probably assume rats, for lack of a better word. Oh, I don't have a shit.
Large.
Yeah, I don't have tokens for everybody. Damn it. All right. Well, can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically very large rats. They're about the size of a German Shepherd, and there's 2 of them. And you can see they're very large, red, beady eyes. We're going to go ahead and roll some initiative.
Eat well tonight.
Say again, I can barely hear you.
We're going to eat well tonight.
We're gonna. It's rat, the other slightly red meat. It's funny because the rats were thinking the same thing. All right, does everybody know how to roll initiative? It's basically your intuition. And if you have any exploits that allow you to do it, that allow you to add to it, you may also add luck. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this old school and just go down the line. Asher, I'm going to have you roll as well because you're on the outside looking in.
It's a good time to be on the outside.
Well, some would say so, but
Oh.
I forgot to mention that hunter-killer satellite that's spying in on you right now.
Oh. Okay. Initiative is just an agility roll?
It's your intuition, INT. You may add luck to it if you so desire.
I didn't.
If you don't have luck, you can't add it.
All right. So mine is 16.
Wow, rats rolled really good. There's
I will use it to play smooth jazz to the comps.
All right, so going down the line, I'm going to start with Kyle. What was your initiative? I can barely hear you, sir.
So, speaking for Kyle, it was 13.
13? All right. Mace,
He rolled
I rolled an 8.
an 8. Selin, Selin? Oh, you guys, some of you rolled it in the... Selin did not roll his. Is he there, Selin?
Yeah, I'm here.
What'd you get for initiative?
I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh. Selin got a 7.
I got a 7.
All right. Scandal, you got a 10? Yeah, Asher got a 16. Holy crap. And Kirby, a what?
13.
13. For some reason, the audio went super quiet on me. I don't know why. All righty. So, top of the round is Asher. So, actually, you probably, all you see is the kids, throwing rocks and being a general nuisance to the gangers.
He did mention they saw something up ahead, but Asher's not really going to change anything for the time being.
Okay. All right, so you're basically on hold, and you're not part of that combat anyway. Next up is, unfortunately, the rats. And I believe, Mace, you're in front.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yes, I am.
You are. Well, the good news is the rats aren't terribly... They're going to roll 4 dice. They don't have any luck. So I got a 5, 9, or 8. That's 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. Does that hit your defense? I can pull up your character sheet. Your melee.
Let's see here. So my melee defense is a 16.
So,
yeah, 18
yes.
would hit me.
So an 18 hits you. So unfortunately, these guys don't do a lot of damage. They do 2d6. So that's 11 points of damage. That'll be subtracted from any armor you're wearing.
Okay, so I've got a vest on, a Kevlar vest, soaks 5.
Okay, so and you took 11, so you take 6. So, and that would be deducted from your health, your hit points. Now, the other bad part is I need you to make a endurance roll.
Okay. Just a flat out endurance roll.
If you have anything that helps with like fortitude or poison resistance, that would be great.
I've got an enduring, which says gain +1 to d6 roll to shake off a temp condition.
Oh, okay. Then you can add that 1d6, and you can always use luck.
All right. So,
You want to roll high. Just tossing that out there.
Gotcha. I'm going to add 2 dice. So I'm going to use 1 luck plus that.
Okay. Holy snikes. Yeah, you're fine. This rat dog thing reaches out and kind of bites your arm. Your armor, takes most of it. But it does break the skin, and you feel a slight sting, almost like, someone was rubbing doo-doo in an open wound. And it doesn't feel good. But you think you've managed to shake it off.
Okay.
So that was the first rat. The second rat is actually, these guys are nimble, and they're going to dash by you, and they're going to, I believe Mace was second in line.
Mace was first in line.
Or Mace was the first. I mean, the second was blah, 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 Kirby. No? Was it Kirby that was second in line?
Yeah, we'll take Kirby second.
All right. So that's 7. Does an 8 hit your physical defense? Your melee defense?
My my melee defense is 11.
Well, so no. So the rat gnashes out at you and misses. So that's both of the rats gone. Next up will be Kyle.
Mechanics, I don't think you'd have a physical defense of 11. That's not possible because it starts at a base of 10. And if you have 1 die in anything, that'd make it a 13. So, anyway, Kyle will... Okay, it's one thing if the rats snarl and it sounds like they're fighting. It's another if we start shooting, which clearly indicates that people are down here. So Kyle will opt to... I believe Mind Blast doesn't have any sounds, right?
I would think not.
Okay, so we'll try taking him out without making any technological noises.
Nice.
So I'll give it a shot, literally. Okay, so bear with me. Again, I'm still haven't used his interface too much. So that'd be a telepathy check. Okay, so let me go find it under his.
Yeah, you have a Psy Blast.
Yep.
So you could just kick.
Telepathy check. Okay, I don't think there's any
Well, no, all you got to do is click that blue button next to Psy Telepathy, and that will roll your dice, and it will ask you if you want to add any luck to it. Which
Right.
It looks like you're rolling what, 1d6?
1d6 for the skill. My psi is 3. Let's throw a point of luck and add 1 to it. So I want to make sure this hits.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess that's 18 versus a mental defense.
Yes, that hits. They're rats. Well, they're dog rats. They don't have a
Sometimes
mental defense of
it's a
18.
penalty 'cause it's not a humanoid.
Okay. Yeah, but this
and
is
it just does 3d6 as far as I know.
Now what you can do is and just so this is the first time we've done combat, if you're rolling more than 5, like in your case you weren't necessarily, but if you have, say your dexterity or whatever is really good and your normal dice pool would be like 7d6, okay? Remember, your maximum cap is 5d6 before you add luck or any modifiers for like weapon quality and things like that. So what a lot of times things have a pretty decent defense, physical defense. So what you can do is you can take that extra 2 dice, because remember you can only roll 5 out of the 7, even though your die pool is 76. So you can take those 2 dice and you can say, John, I'm adding 2d6 to damage.
Oh, well,
does that make sense?
I would have. Okay, yeah.
So I'm saying we can retcon it. I just wanted to let you know how the mechanics work.
Okay. I won't make any changes for now, but next time I'd probably add the luck die to damage.
The good
okay,
news is these guys have a shitty mental defense. So.
Yeah. So that much's done.
So
and that's it for me.
All right. So you zap it, and you literally see its eyes roll up in the back of its head, and it kind of like you see blood squirts out its ears, and it falls down.
Nice. Okay.
So
not bad. Next.
Yeah. So next up at 13 will be Scandal. Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, that was Kirby, right? Kirby just went.
No,
Kyle just went. Sorry.
Kyle just went. Kirby, you're next.
So, which rat did Kyle take out?
He took out the one closest to the end, which would be rat number 2 that attacked Mace, or whoever was second in line.
So Kirby still got a rat attacking him, and how many other rats are there?
There's only 2 that you can see. One has just fallen to the ground.
All right, so let's see what how this works then. First combat. He has ambidexterity, which means he can attack with both pistols at the same time, correct?
Correct.
So he's going to put both pistols into the one rat that's attacking him.
Okay. I don't suppose your pistols have silencers on them.
Yeah, that would be a nice assumption if it actually had them.
So
Kirby's the kind of guy that doesn't really care. He's an in-your-face, I'm going to just do it because I'm brash and I'm young.
Okay. So you fire 2 shots. Are you saving any dice for damage?
So I will put 1 point of luck into each shot of damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll my normal to hit, and then I'm going to add another dice for damage for each.
Okay. Solid.
Okay, shot number 1.
Yeah, that's going to be a hit. Oh, Jesus.
Do damage first before we do the rest of it?
Sure.
All right, so damage is this, I think. Let's see if 3 dice show up.
What kind of caliber is this?
That's not right. But it's just a slugger, whatever the slugger is.
I've got the book.
Is it not like going to go through and bounce around or anything? Is it?
Well, probably. I mean, he's at point blank range with probably a heavy caliber pistol. Although I don't know how much money you had.
That didn't roll very well, so I'm just going to do a let's roll 3d6. That's the damage.
The damage, and that's including the extra d6 from your luck point. Well, that definitely hurts him, and you hear a yelp, but he's still standing.
Now he's going to take another one.
Okay.
Here's the second shot to him.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so that's going to hit. That's what, 19?
Yes. And his damage.
Oh, yeah. So second shot literally just pings him right in the throat, and what little light there is coming from Mace's chem stick, you see the back of his gray matter just splatters up on the roof, and the body's just twitching in the muck as it slowly kind of sinks underneath the water and starts to float past you, kind of twitching. And of course, there is a sound of 2 shots that retort throughout the thing. Asher,
Mm-hmm.
you thought you just heard gunfire coming from somewhere in the distance. The kids are literally making enough noise that you're not quite sure. But other than that, nobody is none the wiser.
Scandal.
Yes.
Is everyone alive?
Seems to be. I can't really hear very well.
Yeah, there's a ringing in everybody's ears unless you have some sort of hearing protection.
So May starts mumbling. He's like, well, they know we're here now. Sitting here going through pissing shit, trying to stay hidden. Goes off and does something, just mumbling and just going on and on and
Frickin'
on.
frackin' rickin' rackin' 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 rackin'.
What? Hey, Kirby goes, what? There are rats. We gotta kill them. Come on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Not now.
No, I mean in character.
Oh.
He goes, well, Kyle said, well, the good news is we took out one of them without using any things like guns, but the other guy opted to just fire away. Sorry.
Which guy?
Who'd you expect? But it's okay. I guess he's nominated himself as official door kicker, so he'll be the one that'll be stopping the bullets for us.
Okay, well, I don't think they might not have heard you. The kids are making quite a ruckus on that warehouse with all those rocks and bricks and other shit.
I hope so for the kids' sake. Actually, I hope so for our sake. We'll see.
The gangsters are popping off up here, too. Taking pot shots. Only a matter of time before they take out one of those little shits.
Yeah, you see one of the big guys comes out, Asher. One of the big guys comes out and he has some sort of weird looking, for lack of a better description, a Gatling gun, but it looks like a large machine gun, almost like think a 60 caliber with like 6 barrels, and all of a sudden the barrels start spinning and just
I'll send a picture of that to everyone but Mace.
Yeah, and I mean, the kids scatter. Amazingly, not one of the kids appears to be shot. And as he's sending you the video feed, you see Skirt steps out behind a building and just flips off the big guy with the Gatling gun, and which, of course, retorts in some fire, but the kid dodges behind the building. And the kids don't come out anymore after that, at least as far as you can tell. I don't know how long you send the footage, but at which point most of the gangers start heading back in the building. And the 6 of those guys have come about 40, 50 feet away from the warehouse entrance, trying to chase down the kids. But they're gutter rats. They scamper and scurry, and like I said, they stay to the alleyways and stuff and behind cover, and nobody gets a good shot at them. And the 2 goons with the shotguns don't seem, they're not close enough to actually. All they're doing is making noise. So, Kirby, you feel pretty confident that your shots probably weren't heard,
Sorry, quick question. How's the gardening looking within the? Actually, that's a silly question.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
How much foliage is there in that yard of theirs?
Oh, there's none. It's all concrete and mud. Puddles. Some of those puddles look like they could hide a motorcycle in them. I mean.
Yeah, I can't sneak through a puddle.
Yeah, there's no like burnt out cars. It's like a wide open field of fire for like 50 yards between where like kind of the street ends to where the warehouse building starts. It's just open ground, and it's broken concrete, asphalt, muddy, couple tire rims, pieces of debris. Nothing big enough to hide behind though, but just general. Make the terrain tough to get through. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the gentleman in the sewer, you're able to continue moving, at which point you get to the spot where the kids, judging by your schematics that Asher was able to pull up, you should be underneath the warehouse.
Yeah.
All right, how do we get up?
I don't know. You guys tell me.
Oh dear Lord. All right. So, is there so looking up? I mean, is there a door, trap door, manhole? What do we got?
There's a couple spots. They look like some of them have been welded. Some of them, you go to push on them, and they appear to be like immovable. Like there's a heavy weight on them of some kind. There's not really cracks in the floor. There's no light seeping through. It's a pretty solid floor. Takes you a good 10 minutes, but you manage to find what looks like some sort of like ventilation shaft that goes up. And by arching your back and sticking your knees up, and using your hands, you could almost like, it would be like crawling vertically. But you could do it by pushing your back up against one side and then, keeping your feet and kind of inch your way up. Scandal probably doesn't have a problem getting up it.
All right, so what I was going to recommend is, because like I said, I got 3 candlesticks, right? So I'll crack another one and give it to Scandal and recommend Scandal. Say, well, why don't you go up first? I'll take up the rear on this one. We'll slowly make our way up.
All right, Scandal, give me an agility check. I'm assuming you can hold the light in your tail.
Oh, yeah.
Or your mouth. I mean.
No, I hold it a tail.
Right. And if you have any exploits that help with climbing, which I don't think you do, according to you, if you're not on a spaceship, you're kind of useless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So.
I mean, except I have the prehensile tail.
Which is holding the light.
That just lets me automatically hold the light.
Right. So no disadvantage there.
Unless Brachiate allows me to do it, because I basically have opposable thumbs on my hands and my toes.
Right. It will allow you to get a grip and climb up, whereas the humans, they're wearing shoes. which doesn't really help a whole lot in this case.
So it's just a climbing roll with agility, right?
Correct. You are a fucking ninja. So that's what, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20?
Sure.
I can climb shit, yo.
Yo, well, you are a monkey. Hello.
I mean, yeah, it seems kind of obvious.
Yeah. So the good news is you're able to climb up about 6 feet, and you see that there is a grate, and it is about 2 feet by 2 feet. So just
Okay.
big enough for most of you, unless any of you are like super chunky or anything super muscular, most of you should be able to scuttle through it. And the good news is, Scandal, as you get up there and you get in front of that grate, you see that there is, like on the side of like, movies like West Side Story and the old tenements in like Chicago and Brooklyn, it has a ladder that if you pull a lever, the ladder kind of telescopes down.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the bad news is the lever is stuck because it's obviously rusted and gunky, but you feel that maybe you might be able to muscle it. I don't know if you have muscle. I'm not looking at you.
Well, I doubt I could muscle it, but someone could muscle
You
it.
could try. I mean, it's up to you. Or, I don't know what you want to do. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
So I can open the grate, though?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't appear to be. I mean, do you rattle it? Do you like push on it?
Yeah, just a gentle little nudge to see if it's loose enough.
It creaks and makes a little bit of noise, not super audible, but it does make enough. It moves just enough, but there's rust and debris. It obviously hasn't been used in a long time, and you can see looking through the grate that there appears to be some sort of crate about 2 feet in front of it.
Okay.
And it's kind of dark, so obviously there's stuff piled around this vent.
Yeah. I'll use my tail to put the chem light, just like peek it up in above the grate and see if I can see a little bit better.
Yeah, you see definitely that's what it is. It appears to be crates. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who got the information for the manifest and everything. State Farm guy.
It was Kirby.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby, you did say you disseminated that information to the group, right?
Yes, he did.
When the GM gives you an option to say yes, say yes.
Other than that, we're going to find out once they start shooting military-grade hardware at us.
Yeah, well, the nice part is you see that Scandal, you see that the crates, because Kirby did disseminate that information, that the crates do say, the various military ordnance and stuff that was on that shipment that was hijacked.
Oh, good. I've been needing to get a gun.
Saying yes, I've been saying, yeah, it's in the chat channel. And I just noticed I've been muted all this time.
I thought you were just ignoring us. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm boring you, man.
So, how far am I away from the grate?
You're at the bottom. So where were you in the line of group? You were towards the middle, yes?
I need feet. How many feet?
You're about, I would say, with the other people, and it's 6 feet up from the tunnel. So you're about 10 feet away.
Okay. I can remove it telekinetically. It says psi versus strength check.
Okay.
Do we want to pull off the grate?
Well,
I can push the grate open.
Yeah, the monkey feels like he could open the grate. It's not stuck.
Oh, okay. It's not stuck. Okay.
The lever that will let the ladder fall down. It's like a you've seen on the side of old like Brooklyn and New York tenements the fire escapes. Those old rusted ladders that are on the side of old buildings, so that you can get out when the building's burning.
Yeah, but we're almost at the top anyway, so we don't need that.
Well, it's 6 feet up from the 5 foot 2 things. So, I mean, you guys can climb. It's up to you guys. You could climb it. It's just going to be difficult.
What if I just grab onto the lever and just kind of like bounce up and down on it?
Yes, that would allow you to probably wrench it free because you got a little bit of mass on you. Chimpanzees are not light.
Yeah. So first I'll open the grate all the way because I figure once the grate's open, people are going to need to come up that thing pretty quickly.
Agreed.
So I'll open the grate and then I'll just kind of drop down and grab that lever and just bounce on it until it releases.
Solid. You're able to do that and get it to where it does exactly what you want it to do. And are you going to go through the grate?
Yeah. Once the grate's open, I bounce on the lever, it releases, and then I scamper up and head towards one of the nearby boxes.
Yes.
Just to take cover as they come up. And while they're coming up, I'm looking around, listening, and just kind of casually checking to see, is the crate currently open?
Good call. Yes, it is.
Oh, joy. Like the lid's completely off.
Yeah, it's gone. There's packing material and there's things that appear to be wrapped in some sort of like plastic foam.
Uh-huh. I pull one out.
Okay.
Slowly and quietly.
All right, give me a dexterity check or agility.
Agility?
Yeah, you should be pretty good at that being a monkey.
Yeah.
I am, because of the packing material that crinkles, I'm going to give you a -1 die penalty.
Then I'll use 2 luck.
Okay. You're more than welcome to do that.
All right, so agility.
Roll nothing but ones. Make my day.
All right.
Ooh. But a 17 is pretty damn good. Yeah, you're able to pull one out. It appears to be some sort of stub pistol, military grade.
Oh, sweet.
It doesn't have any ammunition in it, though.
Nah, but, I got the main part.
Yeah, you've got the gun. It doesn't have a clip in it. Obviously, they're probably in a separate part of the crate.
Yep.
But you have, and look in the book for whatever a standard sidearm, like a 9mm.
Yeah.
That's what you've got. So that's actually party loot unless you die and then you don't get to keep it. But as it stands right now, you have a pistol. Woohoo! Don't say I never gave you nothing. That's right. It'd make a great club.
Yeah, I can hammer.
There you go. All right. I guess the next person on the list would probably be, is it Kyle or Mace?
Mace was going to bring up the rear.
So okay.
He's got since he had light.
Yeah, you're in the rear.
Race was going to bring up the rear on this one.
Solid. So who's going next? The ladder is down,
Kyle would just climb up and just duck under cover. I'm going to wait till everybody else gets up.
Would you guys like me to get prepared to shut down the power?
Ooh.
Yes, prepare for that. That would be awesome.
All right.
Why don't you, Asher, give me 2 computer rolls? 1 to hack into the system and 2 to shut down the power.
Okay, I'm not going to shut down the power just yet.
Right, but you're prepping to do it. So target number is a 13 for the first one.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use actually, do I get luck?
You always can use luck. I don't know if you have luck. I have to look at your character sheet.
I have 3d6 luck.
Yeah, so you have 3 points of luck, which each point equates to a d6. Once you use it, it's gone until you take the equivalent of a short rest, which is literally 5 minutes of centering yourself, meditation, scratching your balls, however you decide to relax. That's how you relax, and you get all of it back, but you can only do that once per day.
Okay, I'll use 1 point of luck for each of those rolls.
Okie dokie. So go ahead and make me the first roll. I will assume while he's making the rolls, everybody is in turn climbing up the ladder. There is no rolls to make it, and as Scandal has told you, there is a bunch of crates and stuff in the way. So you're basically, obfuscated. You're out of view unless you make some stupid loud noises. So first computer roll is a 24. 21. And the second roll is a 24. Okay, you feel very confident that you have A, hacked into the warehouse's power grid, and B, that you can turn the power off whenever you so desire. So all you have to do is wait for somebody to tell you go, and you push a button, and boom. Or you make a mental thought, and the power will go out. And
but with that roll, could I blow out the power?
let me see. I believe maybe you can. A 24. Yes, I will say that yes, you can blow out the power.
Okay. All right, I have the power system completely under my control. Just let me know when to flick the switch whenever you're ready. Find a kid first before Mace does anything crazy. I mean,
Before Mace does anything crazy.
I love it. We blame Mace for everything crazy.
Allow me to correct myself. Please find a kid before you allow Mace to do anything.
Silly. No, anything, period. All right. So moving back to the rest of the group, you are in a little alcove. You're obviously in the warehouse. Looking up, you can see it is a 3-story. You see about 10 feet above you is a ceiling. If you look over to the right, you can see, a set of stairs. It's not like a building with multiple floors. It's like a warehouse where it's like slated floors. So you can see through to the second floor. You can't tell what's up there because it's kind of dark. And you can see there's out-facing stairs. Does everybody understand what I mean? There's like no walls. It's just like one big empty room with a floor and then a third floor above that with these stairs that zigzag up to each floor. So it's kind of an open layout, like a loft. Does that make sense?
So basically, nowhere to hide.
Yep.
We're going, we're going.
Pretty much. There are what appears to be an office off to the side on the right. But it's got that opaque glass, kind of like your privacy screen at your bar. So you imagine they can see out, but you can't see in, that kind of deal. And then there's peeking around. I'm assuming everybody's going to try to look and peek. I'm not going to make everybody roll perception checks. It's well lit in here and everything. A couple lights are flickering. You see a large rat skitter across the floor. And there's about 4 guys sitting around a table playing cards. There's some music playing. And there's like a TV droning in the background. And you can see sitting on a cot, kind of duct tape to the cot is a young boy, appears to be about 9, maybe 12 years old. His hair is matted. He's got on some sort of uniform, looks like some sort of school uniform. You're a pretty good guess that that's probably the lad you're looking for. He's got duct tape across his mouth. His feet are bare, and he's got a pretty good black eye. His hair's matted, like he's been sweating and he's not been, and you can smell what smells like shit and urine. So he's probably pissed himself.
That's probably us.
That could actually be you guys. So you're not sure.
We should probably leave someone down, like at least on the ladder, and try to take the kid out the way we came in. If they don't know about this, that might be our best bet for getting out of here quietly, even if we do this not quietly.
And you guys are aware, as last you know, and according to the video footage that Asher sent you, there's 2 goons outside the front door, which is on the same side that you're on, to your right, about 20 feet down, and they both have shotguns.
Okay. We're on the first floor.
You are on the
I
first
just want
floor.
to clarify, in the kid, in the table, cards, all that,
they're in the middle of the warehouse, and and the warehouse is open, and you don't see crates, racks.
There's a bunch of crates in the very back of the warehouse piled up against the back wall. Again, a lot of them have the name of whatever it was that I had sent you guys. I forgot the name. I don't have the notes in front of me, but it's some of them are military grade crates that the gentleman was expecting that were hijacked from that ship. You can see there is a grease board, like a chalkboard on wheels, a grease board, and you can see it's kind of very crude layout of what looks like the docks, the space docks, and a representation of what should have been the ship, that kind of thing with some vectors and stuff. Looks pretty well thought out, actually, especially Kirby. You kind of recognize some of the verbiage and stuff on there. Vectors of ascent and speed and deceleration required, and that kind of stuff, and how to board and standard pirate smuggler type stuff.
Just throwing this out there, since we're here and the crates are open and they don't know we are here, should we maybe, I don't know, take some contents of the crates and toss it down the well? Because wouldn't hurt to have a little extra payday. They're all wrapped up in bubble wrap, so should be okay.
They'll float. You're pretty confident they'll float.
Yeah, probably.
I think we should probably plan on telling our employer that his loot is here after we get out with the boy.
Yeah, and I said priority is the kid, so let's do that first.
So let me ask you this: the gun that Scandal.
Yeah.
Is it something that's silenced by any chance?
No. It's a regular military grade. Think of a futuristic 9mm.
All right, so a Judge Dredd rifle, a pistol.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
That's.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy.
I've never done before.
But the monkey now has a really good club. Or hammer.
The crate?
How
big is the crate?
The shooty end, right?
It's multiple crates for whoever was asking. And they're stacked on top of each other. They're about stacked. Each crate is about 4x4x5. And there's two stacked up. So Scandal actually had to kind of scamper up it a little bit. And kind of just was enough to peek his head over and see that, there's things in here, and he was able to grab one because he has monkey arms.
Is it
And legs.
And
small object or a medium object?
It is a small object. It is the size. Well, in that crate, though, it's the one crate is open. The rest of the crates are sealed. It has sitting very symmetrically 4 rows of 6. And they're kind of wrapped in this bubble. It's some sort of manufacturing process. You don't know. You're not in that realm. But it looks like someone took something roughly the size of a handgun and bubble wrapped it. So it's kind of like that triangular type shape. If you were to wrap a handgun in enough bubble wrap, it doesn't look like a handgun anymore. It looks like a little triangle.
Right. So I'll telekinetically take the entire crate down into the sewer.
Ooh. Well, it's not going to fit through the grate. The crate's 4x4x5, and the door that you went through is only 2x2. So mathematically, that's not going to work.
Telekinetically, why don't you move it telekinetically to bar the door to the outside?
Okay, I'll do that.
Well, the door opens out, so it wouldn't really bar anything. It would. I mean, it would keep them from running in. They could jump over it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I was just going to ask telekinetically. I mean, what's the range on this? Could you
40 feet
conceivably?
The warehouse is pretty big, but remember, these 4 guys are down there on the floor. They're only about 50 feet away from you. So you start levitating a crate, they're probably going to notice.
So maybe we want them to notice. That's where I'm going with it. So
Freak 'em out.
if there's a way to telekinetically, you can cause a distraction and somebody can haul ass and get the kid.
Do you know the location of the kid?
Yeah, we can see him.
Yeah,
We can see him.
he's about 50, 60 feet away. He is duct taped to the bed.
I've got your distraction. You got to put those strobe lights out.
Yeah, I mean, we take all the lights out. I mean, that's not a problem. We just
I think he's talking about your Kim light.
Yeah.
How many people do we see in here? How many people do we know about in here?
There's 4 that you can see and 2 outside, so that's a total of 6. 7, including what appears to be the boy on the cot. And he appears to be duct taped to the cot.
The cot's just a convenient form of conveyance.
Would he and the cot count as small or medium?
Roll the cot up like a burrito, dump him down a tube, he'll float happily down to safety.
Well, I could bring him over to us, and we could free him and then bring him down.
Well, when I say cot, I mean like a military framed, it's metal,
big,
probably 6.5 feet long by 3.5, 4 feet wide, maybe 2.5 feet off the ground.
That's
Okay,
not
I
a
was-
cot.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought the kid was tied up, not also chained to a cot or something.
He's
Is he actually
duct taped
bound
to the cot.
Okay, chained or tied?
Duct
Can you cut
taped.
it or
Taped.
Duct
change-
tape. Tape.
Oh, duct tape.
Duct taped to the cot. With
so
duct
that would
tape
take
over
some
his
time. So we're
eyes.
gonna okay, so take out the guards.
I'm just desperately trying to use a telekinetic power. Sorry.
I think we all have those things we're trying to resist using.
Have you not seen Empire Strikes Back? Send a crate at him.
I say you just get the monkey to someone give the monkey an Alka-Seltzer and make his mouth foam and just have him go screaming at him.
There's poo down there. I can make them want to go away.
I mean,
If there was a way to
Yeah.
sneak, I'd be all for one person to sneak up and stealthily try to free as many bindings as you can, and then the rest of us try to take out the guards, and then try to get, and then of course try to finish up the bindings, get the kid out. But I don't know if that's going to work.
Could I use my telekinesis to move the tape from afar?
Does it give you like a strength rating or anything like that?
It says that I can freely telekinetically move and manipulate single object of size smaller with 40 feet.
Well, you could probably use a knife and cut the duct tape.
It says if the object is held by someone else, it requires an opposed psi versus strength check.
Right. So you could telekinetically levitate a knife over there and cut the kid free of the duct tape. I'm assuming you have fine manipulation of the power. It's kind of what you do. So it makes sense to me to say that you could cut the the bindings. Because it's literally, he is laying like a mummy on the cot, and they have just wrapped several strands of duct tape around him.
Right.
It's not like
So
he's completely duct taped to the cot.
Okay, so that's an option. Whoever's planning the grand escape, we could cut him free, and then whoever's fastest, go get him while we lay down cover fire or something.
So the kid doesn't freak out. If anyone wants to send a thought to the kid before we start, saying, "Hey, your dad sent us. Insert code word. We're going to try. We're going to be freeing you. Don't freak out if you see some weird stuff.
Don't struggle." He
Yeah.
can't see. His eyes are duct taped.
So
His eyes are duct taped closed.
Unfortunately, the rule of this telepathic message says that it has to be someone with whom I have spent time.
He hasn't spent any.
It was a thought. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, you guys are brainstorming. It's
I wish, but no.
it's good thinking. I mean,
Yeah, it's not that good a power yet.
yet is the key word. You could, like I said, though, I don't know if you heard me, Selin, you could, I don't see any reason why you couldn't take a knife down there and cut him free.
No, I agree, and that's part of whoever is planning the grand escape, I'm willing to do that. We can make that happen. So
Right. So what are we doing? The clock is
I don't
ticking.
have a knife, though, by the way.
I don't have
I
a
do not
knife.
own a knife.
One
I
of
think
you,
everybody does.
I sold mine.
So Mace, Mace has got a set of thieves' tools. He was a professional thief.
I would say everybody has a pocket knife. That's a freebie. Someone has a pocket knife, an old timer or a buck knife. I mean, come on.
What about their teeth?
That's not a knife.
Well, somebody, if you pull one out and serrate it, you can get it final down and sharp enough to cut the tape, right?
Well, it's like I said. I'm sure somebody has a pocket knife. You could cut the duct tape.
Okay, so what is the grand plan then?
So Mace is going to go over and cut out the knife and cut the kid loose. Don't forget the passphrase Papa sent us. And defend the kids, and we will engage the guards otherwise.
And you've got Asher standing by for the word to cut the power, which will make the room pretty dark.
Probably
Right.
some smoke too, because it's just gonna blow out all the light bulbs.
Oh, is that what you're gonna overload the power circuit?
Yeah, that's what.
Please start with a crate flying through the air at the table where they're playing cards.
We
Okay.
can do.
Are you sure someone might get hurt?
I hope
I'm
so.
a pacifist, right?
He's got a very weird sense of pacifism. I wouldn't.
Poker chips are going to get hurt.
All right. So, do you guys have a plan? Are you ready to start?
I want
Yes,
to
let's
5
go.
minutes to think about optimistically the future and replenish my luck base.
Good idea. Anyone who's burned luck may want to consider 5 minutes while we talk about this plan.
As you whisper about this plan,
Yep.
I think I'm warranted by making a perception check to see if anybody hears you.
Hey, you smell shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're whispering over our comms, right? So-
You smell.
Are you saying we smell so bad you can hear it?
I would say though, we wouldn't outsmell the kid who's right next to him.
Yeah, the kid is literally 10 feet from them. Hey, to be honest, he's about 20 feet from them diagonally away. So it puts him about 55, 60 feet from you, and they're about 45, 50 feet from you guys. So they're in the center of the room playing cards, and diagonally moving away from them towards the back of the building is the cot. There's a bucket there, which you assume is probably for the nature call, and there's a little table with just a liter of water sitting on it. So while you guys are talking, I made a perception check for them, and I did it as a group perception. I gave them a 1 die penalty because they're talking. They're not expecting any trouble, and they're talking about the fucking kids. And I got a 9. I got an 11. So I would like one of you to make a stealth check as you guys are like drawing in the dirt on the floor, saying, okay, we're going to go here and we're meditating and kumbaya to get your luck back. Well, okay, so shut me the fuck up. All right, so everybody gets, those who meditated, contemplated the meaning of the universe or their inner self being, has got all of their luck back. You can only do that once every 24 hours, so you're done for this day. So everybody's luck has replenished. All right, so what's the plan?
Magic crate.
So Selen is going to send a crate flying at the thugs. Yes?
Yes.
And then as that is the distraction, Asher is going to blow the lights and someone's going to run for the kid?
Don't blow the lights yet because we still need to be able to see who we're shooting at.
You guys have guns? Oh, wait, one of you does. All right, so why don't everybody give me an initiative roll? You're going to get the first round for free. Everyone's going to get a free action because the thugs are obviously not paying attention. But I'm still going to roll their initiative. What is their initiative? Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Ignore mine. Mine didn't work right. That's my real roll. But no, that's not right either. God dog it. What the hell?
Is that Kirby?
Yeah, and it's not rolling right.
All right, well, you can manually choose the dice.
I'm gonna manually roll it. Excuse me.
Do you know how to manually roll the dice?
Yeah, it's supposed to be rolling 4. The first time it rolled 3. The second time it rolled 5.
Yeah, something's wonky with your character sheet. Kyle, I got you as a 16.
That's correct, sir. Thank you.
All right. And then Kirby. Kirby got a 16. All right, who's next? Everybody needs to roll, even Ashen.
I've got a
Mace got a 14.
Mace.
Selling got a 19.
Nice.
I got an 8. Scandal.
And then what about Asher?
I got a 16.
I think that's everybody, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. All righty. So selling, my man, or my gray, this so happens to work out because I assume you want to take one of those crates and you want to sling it. What's the max weight on that? What you can move? Can you hear me, Selling?
Sorry, it's only size, not weight.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's a small object, I can move it within 40 feet.
All right. So there's a lot of things. There's a bucket over there. There's probably a small crate or, some sort of box maybe that something came in. Anything like that, you would be able to just pick up. And you're doing it more as a distraction. You're not trying to necessarily hurt somebody. Right. So you're just going to drop it on the table or fling it across them. What are you trying to do?
Just going to throw it right at the table.
All right. So there's no opposed roll. You just need to roll so make sure you don't fumble. So no need to expend any luck or anything. At least I don't think so. But if you choose to, I can't tell you to not spend luck.
No. All right. So what do you want me to roll?
So your psi power. Because you're using. You're using telekinetics, right?
Correct.
All right. So yeah, you roll that.
All right.
As long as you don't roll below a 9, you should be okay. Because you're just trying to literally fling it at the table. Whew.
There you go.
All right. 1 point above a 9. All right. So Selin goes first. Now you get 2 actions. You get a movement action and a combat action. I don't believe you can take 2 combat actions unless you have an exploit that allows you to do so. I don't remember. I believe it's a.
I do not. I do not have such an exploit. So I will duck into the hole.
Okay, so you dive into the hole. Basically, you crawl back down the ladder.
No, I just duck down, so I'm underneath the floor, but I don't crawl all the way down the ladder.
Okay, so you just get below the floor.
Correct. Just get cover. Right.
Okay, yeah. So everybody gets 2 actions. You can do it in any combination. You can move, attack, or a regular action, unless otherwise noted. Those with 3 actions, which I don't think is anybody here, take 2. Then their third action is -10 of their initiative, so you count down. So, and then initiative keeps going. So you get 2 actions of movement and something else. You can aim and shoot. You could focus, which is basically the equivalent of aiming for psychic powers. So you've shucked a box or something at the table. You literally scared the bejeebus out of these 4 thugs. 2 of them you recognize. One's that guy with the mohawk, or 3 of them, I should say. It's the 3 from the bar. So the box or whatever it is crashes into the table. Actually hits with enough force to kind of shove the table. It's just a piece of like crate type table, homemade. Their drinks and booze and cigarettes and everything go spilling, and they're like, "What the?" And they all jump up and they're kind of in shock. Next up is a tie between Kyle and Kirby. You guys can decide who gets to go first.
Well, since Kyle doesn't have a gun, and I don't think there's any cover within like 10 to 15 feet of those guys.
No,
he will defer to Kirby going first.
And Asher, you also go, but I think you're holding your action till they say blow the lights, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Kirby, or I'm sorry.
So Kyle wants Kirby to go first. So Kirby's going to take aim at 2 different guys and fire his pistol at 2 different guys.
Okay, I'm going to impose a -1 die to each shot because you're aiming at 2 different guys on a single action. And I don't know enough of the combat system yet to know if that's even possible, but you are ambidextrous. So I can do it because I'm ambidextrous in real life. So yeah, I'm not very accurate. So that hence lies the -1 die. So go ahead and make your first shot.
First shot is going to be this one right here.
And that's a 19. And the thug's physical defense, because it's a slug thrower, right? Range defense is 15. So you hit, sir. So now you roll, and you didn't say you were rolling any damage over, or any dice over to the damage.
It's a point of luck on damage.
A point of luck on damages. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Gotcha. All right, so go ahead and roll your damage. We are looking at 8. All right. Unfortunately, their range defense is a 15, so the bullet just bounces off.
Wait, I already hit him.
Yes, you hit, but you didn't do any damage.
Oh, his toughness then.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. His soak is 5. So yeah, he takes 2 points of damage. I'm sorry, that's my bad. And we'll say that's Thugly number 1.
So thug number 2. Roll this right here to hit him.
That's a hit.
And again, using a point of luck to do a point of damage to him. Wow, crappy rolls for damage.
Yeah. And this is why you want to take, you want to use everything to your advantage. In your case, you had a negative. Although in hindsight, I should have given you a +1 die for advantage. So I tell you what, roll another die to damage, because we'll say you would have taken that die and you would have put it towards damage. So roll 1 more d6. There you go. So you've done 8 and 6 is 14. -5, I believe, leaves 11. Right? 9. So Thugly number 1. Roll another d6 for Thug number 1. Where's their hit points total?
So Thug number 1 had 12 points total to him. Thug number 2 had 14 points.
-4 is 8. All right, so he goes down to 12. Okay. So yeah, they both, shot takes one in the upper chest, towards the shoulder, and the other one, the shot gets him in the upper thigh, and they scream. At this point, they're like, "What the hell?" The kid is already screaming. It's a muffled scream. He's freaking out, but he can't see. and he can't really talk because there's duct tape over his mouth. So that was Kirby, yes?
Yes.
So Kyle, you're next.
Kyle is going to make himself a target because he trusts that the lights are going to go out. He will run towards. I don't know how far he can move during his move. That's the mechanics I don't know.
Yeah, your speed, whatever your speed is, that's how many feet you can move.
Really? That's not very far at all. Let's see. Where is my character? No, it got rid of my character sheet. Dang it! I got to bring it out again.
Remember, you can click that little button too to pop it out and move it off on the side.
I did. Yeah, it went away. So,
okay. It happens.
So base. Where is? Oh, crud.
It would be your
that out. Movement. Oh, my speed's 0. Well, that's not right.
No, that's not right. Well, for argument's sake, we'll say that you can make it to the kid this round. That both of you move.
I guess I'll make it to the kid and
start cutting him free.
I'll whisper, "Papa sent us. Just hold on." And I guess for my action, I'll try to melt one of the guy's faces. I didn't know focus was the psi equivalent. I just took aim. I didn't know how that worked, so I don't have an extra die for that.
Aim is a freebie. So an aim gives you focus is one of your is a talent, correct, or an exploit.
You said focus is what you use instead of aim for psi abilities. I would have taken that. I just thought it was aim.
All right, so just convert it to focus. You're fine.
Okay, so focus, that would give me 5. I'm going to burn an extra die of 1 die of luck, and I'll spend that on damage. I'm assuming that these guys are not intellectual paragons. At least I hope they are. Okay, so we'll try.
It's funny because
try, telepathy. And whenever I do, okay, where's the extra?
One of the guys is reading Wuthering Heights, and the other one's reading No Country for Old Men. Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Okay, so that's the attempt. That is way too many dice.
Man, this program hates you, man.
Yeah, so disregard the last 2, because it should only have been 5. But that would make a total of 24 on the 5 dice. Okay, and then I'm going to roll. I'm assuming 24 hits their mental defense.
Yeah, they have a whopping 12 for mental defense.
Well,
they are not.
I wouldn't know that. So.
Yeah, they are not paragons of intelligence.
Okay, and this is his damage.
Counting the first 4, you rolled 3 6s.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you could technically roll those again, but he's already hit. So there's no. As far as I know, I haven't read 100% of the mechanics yet. But from my understanding, there's no benefit unless you make a called shot. And as you guys being, first career characters, you're not going to be making too many called shots.
Yeah. Unless the crit does extra damage.
A called shot would do extra damage, but you don't know. Your stats aren't good enough at this point to start making.
I would not have made a called shot.
Right, but you still did some. What is that? 16 points.
16 mental.
Oh. Ouch. Mental defense is 12. You already hit that. So that comes right off of his health. There is no soak for that.
Nope.
So that was 16. And that's to which one?
I would pick a different one because I'm hoping I can drop him with a hit.
So Mook number 3 takes 16. He clutches his head and falls to his knees. He is stunned. He is hurting. Yep. So then next up, that was Kyle, Kirby, and Selen. So next up with a 6, Asher's standing by. 14 is Mace. Mace? Hello?
They got
him. Mace is dead. He turned. He actually stabs the Psi in the neck. Is he still in the chat? Let me check Discord. I don't know which one was Mace. Oh, somebody dropped out. Oh, he came back. You still there, Mace?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Are you still on your phone?
Anyway, what I said is, since we're not trying to be stealthy about it at this point in time, I'm just going to go ahead and run over to the kid, cut him loose. We'll start working on cutting the kid loose.
Well, Kirby's already doing that.
Didn't think Kirby had a knife.
No, Kirby's not doing that. Kyle.
Or Kyle, I'm sorry.
All right. Does Kyle have a knife?
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody has a pocket
Okay, all
knife.
right, okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna go ahead and fire at one of these knuckleheads.
All right, number 4. Number 1's looking pretty hurt. Number 2, pretty hurt. Number 3 is on the ground, clutching his head. Blood is coming out of his nose and his ears and his eyes. He looks really hurt. And number 4 is starting to reach for a gun at his hip.
So let's go ahead and go for number 4 to get him good and distracted. So we're going to, let's see here. I'm going to use my pistol. So there you go. And I am going to add 1 point of luck.
Now remember, if your die pool goes over 5, you don't have to max out. You can subtract dice from your die pool and add it to damage. But you hit. Their range defense is 15. So did you? Yeah, you got it, right? 6 and 3 is 9, 10. Oh, you missed. You missed by 1. That was your first action. You have 2 actions.
Okay.
You can try to shoot him again.
Shoot again. So, I'm just going to put. Actually, I would have aimed, but that would have been. I would still had a +1 anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to stay posted up and aim for the next shot, the next go round.
Okay, so you're aiming, right? So the aiming, I believe, gives you an extra D6.
Yep, it would for the next go round.
For the next initiative. All right. So that is pretty much everybody. Asher, you're still standing by. So top of the initiative order comes again. Selen, you are in the hole, or right at the edge of the hole. Are you doing anything in particular? You've heard gunshots go off.
I'm gonna pop up and side blast one of these.
You're going to have to move from where your vantage is. You cannot see the goons because remember the crates formed almost like a little room, so you guys were not seen when you were coming in. So you will have to get out of your cubbyhole and move around the crates.
Also, 10-foot range.
Well, 10-foot increment.
Yeah, 10-foot increment. I moved up because I want to have a decent chance of hitting them. But yeah, you could do that.
How far are they?
They are about 50 feet from you.
50 feet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big warehouse.
All right. Well, then I think I might. Let me see what my range increment is.
Oh, Scandal, did I skip you?
But
yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
have a gun that works, so.
Okay, so you're just standing by.
Waiting for the kid to get free, yeah, and then I'll help move him to the exit.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, sir.
All right. I will move within 40 feet.
Okay.
And use electrokinetic blast, which has a range increment of 20.
Okay. I will give it to you. Go for it. Roll your attack. And now, is that a mental defense or is that a physical defense? I would assume
mental.
It is mental.
No, it's physical.
It's physical. Yeah.
Physical. That one's physical.
And it'll be range defense, right?
Right.
Because you're shooting them with a power. Okay.
Right.
Your target number is a 15. I won't always tell you what the target number is, but these guys are mooks.
Okay. So that's a 5d6, but its a range is. My range increment's 20, so what does that mean? That
means every time you go outside of your range increment, you're probably going to be at a minus 1d6.
Okay. So that's 46.
Yeah. Oh, that's a miss.
Dang, a 1, a 3, a 3, and a 1. Roll 20 does suck.
I told you guys you can roll regular dice if you want to roll real dice. You have that option.
That's fine.
I'll
deal with the pain.
I'll deal with the pain. Well, you were hoping they would deal with the pain. All right, so that was Selen. You've gone. Again, I've got a tie between Kyle, Kirby, and Asher. I'm assuming Asher is still holding until he's given the word. So it's between Kyle and Kirby.
I guess Kirby's standing by. Kyle's kind of wondering what happened to the plan, because there was somebody supposed to be freeing the kid, and it wasn't supposed to be him. So he assumed we're still sticking with the plan because nobody said anything otherwise, and he's going to attempt to take out the person who has not been hit yet. That'd be number 4.
Yes.
He'll do the same thing as 4. He'll focus, shoot, and burn a luck die on the damage roll.
Okay.
So So we'll do the same thing as before. That's this, modified by the focus die, which is just 1. And I don't know why I did that again. So I'm going to take the first 5. 10, 17.
17 is barely a hit, but it's a hit.
Mental? Okay. And then the damage die is 4 dice. This is mental again.
Oh, well, it was actually a pretty decent hit. Their mental defense is 12.
Yep. That's 16 on number 4.
Ooh, nice. And there's no soak on that, so that straight goes all to him. So again, same thing. And how much was that again?
16.
16. Wow. You and your magic
Well,
numbers.
keep in mind, it sounds lethal. This only knocks them out. It cannot kill them.
Right. But again, ears are bleeding,
Yeah.
eyes is bleeding, blood coming out of his nose, and he drops to his knees and he's clutching his head and he's screaming in pain. So he is stunned because
Yep, that's all. Yep.
I'm ruling that if you take 3/4 of your hit points in one hit, you're going to be stunned. That just to
That's
me,
it for me.
that makes sense to me. All right. So that was Kyle, right?
Yes, sir. That's Kyle.
All right. Kirby, what are you doing?
So he's going to take an aim action and then shoot the other 2 guys.
Okay. Number 1 and 2 again?
Yep.
Okay. Remember, -1 die penalty for both? Well, actually, no, you no longer have the art of surprise. So, yeah, -1 die penalty for a multi-action for shooting.
It's offsetting the aim bonus.
Right.
All right. So first guy gets this roll.
Wow. Yeah, you hit.
And his damage is with a point of luck. Actually, I want him to drop. I'm going to burn 2 points of luck.
Okay.
So he's going to get 46 in the face.
In the face.
If it'll let me do that.
Wow.
Yeah, he took a lot of points in the face.
So there's 10, 11, 14 after I subtract his 5 for soak. He literally, as you guys are looking, you hear the retort of Kirby's pistol, and you see this guy, like the side of his right eye and his cheek just literally disappear. There's just this explosion of his face, and he just slumps back and like falls, heels over, and he is dead.
And the second guy.
Alrighty. 5, 10, 14. That's 19. Yeah, that's a hit.
Again, I'm going to burn 2 points of damage, 2 points of luck.
How much luck do you have?
I have 6 points of luck.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm going to burn my last 2 points to kill this guy, hopefully.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
So subtract 5 for his soak, so that's 8 points of damage. Your shot goes in, it's a gut shot, and you can see the splatter out the back, as it went right through, probably took his kidney out. He kind of doubles over. He's still up, and he's pulling his pistol out, but he's hurting. He's hurting real bad. So that is Kirby. Next up is the Mace. You go before. By the way, in this game, heroes go before the NPCs. So Mace and the thugs both go on 14. So Mace, you're up. Mace, did we lose you again? Oh, yep, we lost him.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you keep disconnecting and reconnecting.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to shoot the guy that Kirby just wounded.
Okay, number 2.
Yep.
So we'll say that's 10, 13, 14, 15. That is a hit, just barely.
Okey-doke. And I am going to earn 1 die of luck. Well, damage.
That is way too many dice.
Well,
world here?
All right. Well, we'll do it this way.
Attack and his damage at the same time.
Yeah, something's wrong on his sheet. There we go.
Yeah,
So,
but it said he rolled a 20 to attack and 7 damage for that.
oh, it did.
And what it was, I actually did it off the sheet itself, and it rolled both. It rolled both together. So now I know how to do it all together now.
Oh, well, there you go. So yeah, you're awesome, sir. So yeah, 7 points of damage, and you shoot number 2, and he is still standing, but he is down. He's on his hands and knees, but he's trying to lift his pistol up, but he is hurting. There's a pool of blood. It's very dark blood too. That's not good. Just for mechanic sense, because we're all new to this, he's literally down to 1 hit point. His armor soaked most of it.
Let's grab the kid and run.
All right. Well, unfortunately, now it's the bad guy's turn. Mr. Asher, do you wish to blow the lights at this point to make it difficult for the thugs to shoot back? I'm being very generous in my GMing by giving you that hint, but it's up to you.
I have not received any signal.
Okay.
I would not defy. I'm not the one with feet on the ground.
Right.
So, also, I'm not the one
What are
getting
the
shot.
guys outside doing, Asher?
What are they doing?
Well, now that they've heard all the gunshot, they are turning around to come in. They will be in at the end of this round, which means they'll go next round.
I will communicate with Asher to cut the power.
All right, I will blast that.
All righty. So the power explodes. There's lights right above them where they're sitting, which is why they had the table sitting there. So that's kind of a flash because you did say you were going to overload the power. So I'm going to give them a minus 1d6 for the shock and awe factor. So instead of rolling 4d6 to shoot you, they are going to roll 3d6. Just for this first round. So thug number 1 is dead. Thug number 2, actually, he's going to be only at a 2d6. He is going to shoot at, is it Kirby that is over by the child?
Nope, Kyle is by the kid.
Kyle. He's going to shoot at Kyle.
Okay.
Do I hear someone talking in the background? You need to talk into your microphone. All right. I'm assuming a 5 does not hit you, Kyle.
That is correct.
All right.
5 will not hit me.
So that was his first action. His second action, yeah, he's going to continue to bleed. All right. So next up, Thugly number 3 is also going to shoot at you. Ooh, that's 12. Does a 16 hit you?
Nope.
A 16 does not hit your physical defense or your range defense. Kyle?
Telekinetic shield. My range defense is 28.
Holy shnikes. Okay. Well, so the bullet just literally stops right in front of you, a la the Matrix. And, well, all right. So that was
High
him.
agility, acrobatics, and then +4 for exploit. I don't like being hit. Being hit is bad.
No shit.
Always stand behind Kyle.
Exactly. Meat shield. Well, unfortunately, number 4 doesn't know that either, and he sees you cutting the kid free, so he shoots as well. And that is a max roll of 18, which unfortunately is not or 17. If it was 3d6, I could have re-rolled, but it was only 2 6s and a 5. So unfortunately, they all miss. The 2 thugs with the shotguns will come in at the end of this round. So last but not least is Scandal. Scandal? Hello? Did we lose the scandal?
You could be muted or AFK.
Oh, I don't know. My phone's fine. I've been in meetings all day long.
Oh,
Is the kid up for you?
no, he's almost. Kyle is cutting the tape off right now. He will be free next round.
I'm holding my action until the kid's ready to go.
Roger Dodger. Alrighty, so top of the third round, Selen, you get to go first. Number 1 is down on the ground, bleeding out, appears to not be moving. Number 2 is on his hands and knees, trying to keep his gun up and shooting. Number 3 is pretty darn wounded, and so is number 4. 3 and 4 both have very confused looks on their face because they're pretty sure they shot dead center on Kyle, and he didn't get hit. Or is that Kirby? I get him confused.
Kyle.
Kyle, okay, yeah. Because Kyle has the telekinetic shield.
I'm going to steal the fire off of number 2.
Okay, what do you mean?
Psi versus strength check.
Oh, okay. So roll your psi versus my
Oh,
strength.
nice.
I can go back to my webpage. There we go. Holy snikes. And I have to make a strength check?
Correct.
Ooh, this is not good. I'm going to give him a die penalty. He's bleed. Yeah, no. You more than beat him, sir.
All right. I take his weapon and bring it over to myself.
Nice. All right, that was your first action. What's your second action? I shoot him with it.
I am going to do it again with the next one who has a weapon.
Okay. Now remember, you got the 2 guys with the shotguns who just came in the room.
I'll do it with one of them.
Okay. What's the range on it?
40 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably within range. You're right at the maximum of your range. But yeah, that would be Thugly number 5 and number 6.
I'll do number 5.
All right. Okay, these guys don't have any negatives, so oops. Helps if you don't cheat. That is 5 and 4 is 9 and 1. So I got a 10. I'm assuming your 18 beats my 10.
I'm not a math major, but
I think that's how it works, right? So literally, he runs through the door. You know, he's ratcheting the shotgun, and all of a sudden, it just flies out of his hand, and he's like, "What the?" As your shotgun goes floating back towards you, and you're behind crates, so I'm assuming you're looking out from behind the crate to see him, so he can't see you necessarily, and he's just
anybody want a shotgun?
Yeah.
I will drop it at the feet of anyone who wants a shotgun.
All right. So that is Mr. Selen has gone. Next up is
Nicely played, sir.
Kyle or Kirby.
Kyle is just going to cut the kid loose and then try to fireman carry him back.
Okay.
Probably going to be his whole turn. That's all I got.
I will say that you have no problem doing that. Because you've spent you can do that. So you are done. That was Kyle, right?
Correct.
All right, Kirby, what are you doing, sir?
Kirby's going to take aim at thug number 5 that still has the shotgun.
Okay. And I believe aim gives you an extra D6.
So I'm going to put that into damage.
Okay.
Because let's see if this attack dice thing works.
Yeah, because it should roll your attack and your damage.
All right, so let's see. It should be first 5 dice will be attack, and then it should be 4 dice of damage.
Okay. That looks right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's 9 dice. 5 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 21 actually hits. He has and you said you were shooting thug number 6 with the shotgun? All right, so he has an armor of a soak of 5, so he takes 5 points of damage. So yeah, solid slug right to the chest. He takes a step back. He's like, oh! He looks in your general direction and just screams.
We probably did this wrong because he's don't forget I'm ambidextrous. So it's 2 pistols coming on to bear to him. So you want to take 1 dice off of that because you've been imposing a 1 dice penalty for doing ambidextrous.
Right, and now it's dark on top of that. So it actually would be a 2 dice penalty. Because you don't have any way to see in the dark, correct? Although I would say they are silhouetted, so it'd only be it would be a 1 die penalty because they just opened the door. So there's light streaming in. It's not a whole lot of light.
Take 3 points off of him. So for the first hit, and then I'll roll again for the second hit.
Sounds good.
So take 3 points of damage because that's the last dice rolled is the 3.
Right.
All right. So here comes the second one. And this time, without any additional show, it should be 8 dice total.
All right. That's 8 dice. And 16 is a hit. And 11 damage minus 5 is 6. So yeah, you tag him again, same center mass in his chest. But he's bringing that shotgun up. And he looks like he's about to move forward. So yeah, you tagged him real good. All right, next up is Asher. I assume you're just standing by to stand by?
Yeah.
All right, so the next up is Mace.
All right, so I am going to holster my pistol and reach down because I'm beside Selling, grab the shotgun that just made its way gloriously over to me.
All right.
All right. And I don't know what kind of damage a shotgun does. They don't even have them listed in the. They've got them listed in now, but they don't have them listed in new. So.
Well, yeah, just go with whatever that damage is. It's the same.
Okay. So, and I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the guy that's coming in with the shotgun. That's a minus 2d6 for me, or minus 1d6.
2d6 because of range modifier.
1d6. All right, so let me see. Rifles would be that. I'm going to use a point of luck as well. That would offset that. So yeah. So and I can't use my. I'm assuming holstering and picking up a shotgun is one of my 2 actions.
I'll give that to you. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Wow. All right, and so that was pool limit is 5. Yeah. So you got a 23, but see, it didn't roll his damage, but you're doing Emperor. I assume you're just doing a shooting roll?
Yeah, I just
because you don't have the shotgun on your character sheet, right? Gotcha. Okay, so now you can roll your damage dice. Is it? You said it's in the now book.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know what it is. I don't have the book in front of me.
I don't have the book in front of me either. I'm actually in the kitchen, so I wouldn't echo as bad tonight.
Oh, okay. No, we appreciate that. Hold on, I've got the now book.
All right.
I apologize to everybody, but the sci-fi book doesn't have the shotgun rules, which is silly. I'm gonna turn on the light, and I don't have it as a PDF in front of me. I have the physical book, so bear with me, because I gotta imagine shotgun's pretty bad. Page 91. Come on, one more page. You can do it, John. Oh. Looking. They've got every other gun in here. Let me see, maybe it's on the... Okay.
You know, if we're going much longer tonight, I have to hop off.
No, we're going to be wrapping it up here real quick. We're going to say 3d6. I can't find it right now.
That's fine. I will look it up myself when I get in my office.
Yeah.
All right. Here, roll 3. And I'm going to actually add my last point of luck here.
All right.
To that. There you go.
Nice. So that's 12, 16, 17 is a hit. Or is that damage? That was damage, right?
And the guy hit with a 3.
That was damage, yes. And you were shooting the guy with the shotgun?
Correct.
All right. So, and that's 17 minus 5 is going to be 12. That is literally enough to drop him. So literally another blast right to his midsection, and he falls down to the ground. He's run out of steam. He is bleeding out, kind of twitching. So that was Mace. Next up is the Thugs, which I'm going to say for rule of cool, number 2 bleeds out and is out of the fight. Number 3 is, these guys are not very smart. Most of their guys are down. Yeah, they're stupid. They're hopped up on drugs and drunk. He's going to shoot at you. He's going to shoot at the guy at... Kyle, you're carrying the kid, right?
Yes, he is.
All right, then he's shooting at Kyle. Triple ones, his gun explodes in his hand and kills him. I shit you not. I rolled 3 ones, which is a critical failure. So, Thugly number 4 is going to do the same thing. Luckily, I did not. I rolled 2 ones, but unfortunately, I don't think a 8 will hit him with his telekinetic shield. That was his second action. That still misses. That's a 12. So we will say, for sake of brevity, you are able to get the kid down the hole. Scandal gives you a hand. These two, one guy's they're both gonna bleed out unless they receive medical attention. Number 5 lost his gun. He literally turns around after he sees his buddy guts splatter the wall and runs out the door. Asher, you see one of the thugs that was wielding a shotgun, literally pale as a ghost, running for the hills. He runs straight out the door, doesn't look back, just keeps running.
Well, that seemed very violent to them.
Say again?
That seemed very violent of them to do.
Does it seem very violent for them to do? I don't understand.
It was a statement, not a question.
Oh, okay.
We do need to stabilize 1 or 2 of the guys because we do need to find out who was behind this goose. That was part of the deal. Yeah.
If the shooting stops, Asher's gonna go head down and go into the warehouse.
Okay. Are you going to stop that guy that's running away, or do you let him go?
How am I gonna stop him?
You tell me. He doesn't appear to have any weapons on him, and he's running scared shit.
Robot from Planet
You
9.
could try to follow him, find out where he goes, follow us up the ladder.
Yeah, and you get all the loot for yourself. I see.
Well, Kyle's been personally tired of being one guy out there standing with this thing and dangling in the wind because he was not the one supposed to be out there. So he's like, I thought I was backup. Why am I carrying the kid? But whatever. It'll work out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go inside.
Are any of the downed enemies still alive?
Yes, number 3 and number 4 they are down to about 2 hit points. They look very jacked up, and their fight is all out of them. For lack of a better word, combat is over. You've got the kid. I'm assuming that Scandal and Kyle are going down the tunnel and heading out the way they came in with the child. Selin is at the tunnel as well. I mean, at this point, if you wanted to grab one of them or stabilize one of them and take them as a hostage, you could probably walk out the front door. Call it.
I would like to
take their bikes.
Also, search this warehouse. There might be a clue. Doesn't hurt to look.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of evidence in the warehouse. This is literally most of everything that was on the manifest. And with a little more searching, you will see that one of the crates obviously it was a military crate, and it basically, you can see in the bottom of the crate, is an instruction manual for an EMP.
Okay.
Gosh, it's a real shame he couldn't recover all 10. 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, sorry, we didn't get any of those. They must have used them all.
Well, there was only one EMP, and
I'm sorry, there were none left? Yeah, okay.
yeah, and they used the one, and it's gone, and nobody knows where it's at.
Sorry, so you said 4 and 5 are still hanging on by a thread, or 3 and 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Mace is not even going to take a hostage. So Mace is just going to walk over to number 3, okay, and he's going to pump the shotgun one time. He's going to chamber. He's going to take the barrel, put it in the guy's mouth, take his boot, put it in the wound that the guy's got, and said, "Tell me who's running the show now, and you might be able to keep your head."
Well, you've got a shotgun barrel in his mouth, so it's kind of hard to talk.
Right, but I'm making a point, right? So if I can see in his eyes where it registers with him, then I'm going to pull that barrel back out.
Yeah, he's in excruciating pain, but he does recognize that he is in no position to bargain. So he's kind of, one hand's bloody, his other hand is over the wound, and you're stepping on it. So he is grimacing in pain. He's literally at this point pissing himself, and he's screaming in pain. But you can see he's trying to talk.
Okay, so I pull the barrel out, and I'm listening.
And he's like, Ravenger's the boss. It was his deal. He made the deal. He told us to kidnap the kid, man. Just let me go, man. I'll get out of town. I won't tell anybody. I never saw your faces. I don't know nothing, man. Just let me live. And he basically starts crying like a bitch.
And so where do we find him?
Ravager, he'd be held up at the Skaggs headquarters down by the port.
More. Where at?
I don't know, man. He's at the Port Authority. He works down there.
We'll find him.
I collect all their weapons.
And so I take him and I clock him with the damn stock of the shotgun.
That's probably enough to kill him. He's pretty hurt.
And if it happens, it happens. I mean, Mace is not necessarily a nice guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just Mace.
That was really unnecessary, Mace.
I just look at Asher.
Yeah. You've been getting shot at, and Asher's been sitting on a rooftop a building away. Yeah, okay.
I got the lights for you, didn't I?
That was pretty flawless timing right there.
Oh, Asher, you sure did, bro. Thanks so much.
Can we please avoid any unnecessary bloodshed? He was already down.
Yeah, the other guy is, he's like, I need a medic.
I'll go get. Is there a medic kit around here?
Yeah, there's probably one.
I think we have a medic kit in the other building. Why don't you go get it for us?
Kirk. Asher's just gonna turn his head around at them and look.
And you hear the retort of a shotgun.
First of all, I'm not Alexa. I'm not fucking stupid.
Is anyone injured? Any one of us, I mean.
I don't think anybody took any damage, did they?
Actually, I did. I took about 6 points of damage with the damn rats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got hold of them. Yeah, but, life goes on. That's, again, why Mace is really not feeling very sympathetic to these people right now.
Totally understand.
All right.
So somebody said they had to log off soon?
Yeah, I do too, guys, because it's almost midnight for me.
Right. I totally understand.
Want to stop here and wrap up anything in the forums or just chat later?
Yeah.
I'm going to help the guy bandage himself up.
Okay.
I will psychically heal Mace.
Thank you.
How much
That's
is
a nice power.
How much is that healing?
I can do up to 2d6.
Okay.
That's really nice.
And Mace, you have 5 points of damage, I think you said?
It's a damage.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's enough. The average of 2d6 is, well, in your case, 4.
Yeah, you got 4.
Yeah. Better than 3. All right, guys.
Natural healing in this game sucks.
Yes,
so
it does.
Kind of healing is really a big bonus.
Yeah. So, Selin, you are the MVP. for just the abilities, and then the other psychic who could melt face. The only thing I don't remember is I don't remember you saying that you put up your psychic shield.
It doesn't say it takes an action. It's just up.
Yep.
So
is mine.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says add 40 your range defense, and I go, okay. That's it.
That is amazing. I will try to get some more reading in this week. Hopefully, we're starting to bring people back into the office next week. So work for me is crazy. I do apologize. I wanted to be a little bit more prepped. I did already have this part of the adventure down, but I wanted to get some assets into Roll20 so that we could have some visual. But
I appreciate you running. I know what kind of it takes to get this thing going. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, but I hope you guys had fun with what we did tonight. You've rescued the kid. Next week we'll pick up pretty much from where we left off here. You'll set up a meet with the big wig, and you'll hopefully get paid. And then I'm assuming somebody's going to call it into the cops to tell them all the loot is here. I imagine some of the stuff will miraculously be missing, and everybody will get a handgun.
Yeah, we collected the weapon.
Yeah, and you've got someone be the party treasurer. I've got enough to do with trying to remember everything. But you definitely got 4 handguns and 2 shotguns, plus Scandal got basically the equivalent of a 9mm pistol, whatever the rule book gives you for a basic slug thrower. You've got that. You don't have a clip or a magazine, but I'm assuming you have enough time to rummage through the crates and find something. The other stuff is all loot that you could sell. But I'm assuming you're going to do the right thing and turn it back into the police officer. And maybe,
well, the ex-cop wants to turn it back over. Yes.
That's the right thing to do, but you guys, I can't tell you to do that. You guys have to tell me what you want to do with it.
Right, I was going to say, for out of character, okay, Kyle will say, hey, let's turn this back in. Now, that said, if someone does something sneaky behind his back and he happens to see, and maybe something gets missing from a few crates and no one's the wiser, that's something else. But Kyle thinks, hey, look, because he's an ex-cop, let's turn this stuff back over. That's what he says, just so you know. But he's not going to stop you guys if someone does something behind his back and he doesn't see it. So
do this for me, guys, so we can wrap up, because I know Mason, the other guy, it's 11 o'clock here, and like I said, I have to be up.
Anyway, thanks again for running, and thanks again for playing, guys. I'm going to bail. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, man. Whoever wants to put a note up on the Roll20 message board for our game and just say, what they're doing, what the group opinion is, we can go with that. And then we will play again in 2 weeks. Those of you that gave me your email, Craig, I already have yours. I will reach out for next Tuesday, and we will plan on playing Degenesis, if that's cool. That's the apocalyptic game.
Hey, and what are the types of handguns that we found? So
it would be military grade. If you give me a list, I will, when I have a free moment, I'll look at the firearms section and I will give you a couple of options. Because there's a couple crates full of military gear, so you may even get some body armor. It's 11 o'clock. I don't have the loot written out, and I'm brain fried at this moment.
Okay.
But yeah, if you just put a note on the message board saying, "Hey John, what loot did we find in the warehouse everything doesn't necessarily make it all the way back to the Port Authority." You know what I mean? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
All right. And then those that are interested can just put there on the Roll20 message board, and then we'll figure out how we're going to do Degenesis. And Craig, feel free to make your character. You've got the book. You have access to it. And anybody else now, because everybody knows how to download it. So download it and get some character concepts or whatever. And next Tuesday we will play Degenesis.
I am probably unavailable. I will most likely be on the road.
Okay.
I'm moving from
right. You
from
mentioned
Austin to Vail, so I got to pack and all.
No worries.
I'll be on the road then, so I'll join if I can.
Yeah, totally understand, and it'll be an open call for every other Tuesday for the Degenesis, and then the other Tuesday will be this game. So, and I appreciate you guys playing. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast. You guys did really well. Hopefully the mechanics made a little sense and you understand a little bit better now how to allocate your dice pools. Because you can see it's relatively easy to hit. It's a little bit harder to do damage. So,
Yeah.
hopefully that made
Sounds
sense.
good.
Yeah. And everybody have a great night. Thank you so much. Everybody on YouTube that's watching, thank you so much. And we will see you in 2 weeks. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Good night.